Good evening from Tyneside on a rainy Wednesday night, the week before Christmas. I'm John Murray, Clinton Morrison is alongside me, and we're inside St James's Park for this Carabao Cup quarter-final between Newcastle United and Fulham. Newcastle, the cup holders, Fulham aiming to reach the semi-finals, which is as far as they've ever been in this competition. Clinton, good evening to you. Big night for Newcastle, big night for Fulham.
Yeah, good evening, John. Pleasure to be here with you. But yeah, it's a massive game for Newcastle. They need a response after the weekend, and obviously Fulham had a good result against Burnley, and it's a big night for Fulham as well. They want to go try and get to the semi-final, but I do call this Newcastle's Cup because they are the holders at the moment, and they've been doing ever so well in the Cup, but they need a response this evening.
Yeah, they do, and the typical atmosphere has not been affected by the events on Sunday in the derby, just 10 miles away from here. There's been some considerable fallout from that, and I think that's the unknown tonight, how this Newcastle team, and we'll come on to it, but Eddie Howe's made 6 changes tonight, whether there will be any carryover, either positively or negatively.
Well, you said they made 6 changes, so the changes that have come in will want to prove a point that they want to stay in the team for the Premier League matches, because on the weekend it was disappointing, so there's obviously places up for grabs. So it's, listen, you always, when you've had such a bad performance, John, you always look forward to the next game and you can't wait for the next game. I bet these Newcastle players and fans are happy they've got a game this evening.
Yeah, and here come the teams, led out by referee Darren England. The officials in purple shirts this evening, just appearing from underneath the roof of the dugout, very tight to the side of the pitch. Newcastle United in their cream tracksuit tops walk out into the Tyneside rain, led out by Bruno Guimaraes, and Fulham, no tracksuits for them tonight, in their lurid green away kit with the black collars. So Newcastle United against Fulham, and Newcastle making these 6 changes. So going out tonight, and on the bench, Voltemada, Gordon, Elanga and Tonali. There's no Dan Burn, as you probably know, after he picked up his injury on Sunday, punctured lung and broken rib. And also no Lewis Hall tonight, who we're told has got a hamstring problem. So the big news really for Newcastle, Clinton, as a centre forward yourself, Yoane Wissa starting for Newcastle for the first time, the £50 million signing, who hasn't been able to play until the last few weeks. Come on as a sub in the last 3, but tonight, after Sunday, he starts. Yeah,
and it's an opportunity. I think it's the perfect game to give him that opportunity. He gives you something different for Voltemada. I think Voltemada's been outstanding since he signed for Newcastle, but I think Wissa is like that Isak type of player. I'm not comparing him to Isak. Isak numbers are brilliant, but he wants to run in behind, he wants to stretch people. That enables midfielders to get involved. So it's a big night for him. He won't last the game, but if they can get 60 minutes out of him, it's good, John.
Yeah, so Jacob Murphy and Harvey Barnes come in the wide positions. We're expecting Ramsey and Willock into the midfield and Cher into the defence. So those are the 6 changes. So Ramsdale in goal. Miley, we believe, will be at right back, but we just want to keep an eye on that at the start of the match. Cher and Chow, the central defenders. Livramento moving over to left back. Guimaraes with Jacob Ramsey and Joe Willock. Then Jacob Murphy, Harvey Barnes and Yoane Wissa, the Newcastle players, black and white striped shirts, just going into their huddle before the start of the match. And Fulham, without their 3 important Nigerian players, Bassi, Iwobi and Chukwueze, who are off at the Africa Cup of Nations. But those are the only 3 outfield changes. Lecomte comes in, the goalkeeper. He started all of the matches in this competition for Fulham this season. So Kevin, Lukic and Cuenca are the other players to come in. So the Fulham team, Lecomte in goal, all in tangerine. He's just running away into the goal to our left in front of the Leazes stand, looking up at the Fulham supporters who've made the journey here on a Wednesday night. So Lecomte in goal, Tete, Anderson, Cuenca and Robinson the back 4, Berger and Lukic in midfield, Wilson, Smith Rowe, Kevin and Raul Jimenez. And as I'm looking down here from our low commentary position, it is Livramento who is in the left back position, and it is Miley who is going to start at right back.
I think, it's kind of horses for courses at the moment in them defensive areas. Obviously you've got a lot of players out. Would have been nice to see Lewis Hall get a run of games, but you have to protect him as well. He was out for a long time before that, John.
Yeah, our ITV colleagues just passing by with their umbrellas. Les Ferdinand, Mark Schwarzer, Mark Pugac as well. They're off to take cover But we're out here in the rain.
Yes, we are.
And we're ready for kick-off. And there's the whistle. This Carabao Cup quarter-final, live from St James's Park on BBC Radio 5 Sports Extra. Newcastle immediately after Fulham kick-off, clearing the ball away downfield towards the edge of the Fulham penalty area. And we're looking for early signs of how Newcastle, what their mentality will be like tonight after all of the discussion about that. Jimenez beaten in the air by Chow. Barnes gets an early touch. Here's Livramento. He's so adaptable, but he's dispossessed, and Fulham will bring it forward. Here's Harry Wilson on the right-hand side, having a very good season. Wilson plays it back towards the right-hand side for Fulham, for Jimenez, who's taken it down into the full-back position. Shearer's gone across there with him. They're pushing and shoving one another, and then Jimenez has played it into Shearer, and it's bounced out of play. Is it a corner or is it a throw-in?
You could be right, because you can see the centre halves going up, so it must be a corner. Which Harry Wilson's going to take. You were right there, John. I think he's been outstanding, Harry Wilson, this season for Fulham.
Yeah, he's their leading scorer with 5 goals, scored a hat-trick for Wales last month. Well, this is just what Newcastle perhaps don't want. At the Gallagher end to our right, got to defend this early set piece in the second minute. 2 corner takers are down there, Wilson, but also Sasa Lukic, the midfielder, the Serbian international, is there as well. He's giving the signal with his right hand that you would think it would be Wilson. It is a deep one towards the back post. A stretch comes off a Fulham head. It was Anderson who got to it for Fulham. Then it's pumped back across outside the penalty area. Anthony Robinson jumps for it, and then it's walloped forward by Wilson, straight up in the air really. Lewis Miley's able to get to that and head it down. And then Newcastle can start their attack down the right with Ramsey. Here it is on the right flank. Barnes is over there, and in comes the challenge, and that's deflected away back to the halfway line. Newcastle 0, Fulham 0. It is still, if you've just switched onto us here, Manchester City Brentford is on 5 Live right now. Manchester City leading by 1-0. These are the second and the third of the quarter-finals. And then Arsenal Crystal Palace is next Tuesday. 5 Live will be the place to listen to that. Here is Wissa. Plays it out to the right-hand side to Murphy, but Fulham have been able to get it back. And Cuenca coming in for Bassi turns and plays it out to the far side. It's flicked forward up towards the halfway line. Fulham still in possession. Berger is going to play that forward, but in comes the tackle from Willock, and it's out of play for a throw.
You see, the biggest cheer we've heard so far is a tackle that Willock done. Newcastle showed that sort of spirit on the weekend against Sunderland. That's all you need, John, in games like that. Yeah,
it was a meek display, wasn't it? And I have to confess, commentating on it as I was, as soon as Voltemada put that header into the back of the net, it just had the feeling that that was going to be the story, and so it turned out. And so, as Clinton says, to see a tackle like that is exactly what Newcastle want. But I mean, they've not had difficulties here over the course of recent months. 8 matches unbeaten at St James's Park, and they've won 7 and drawn 1. 3 home defeats were in the first couple of months of the season. As Livramento comes across, makes sure that Newcastle keep possession. Chow hits that pass. That's given Barnes no chance. He was off the pitch before he got his head to it, in front of, very nearly tripped over a television camera down there.
I was just about to say, the camera's a bit close there. He did get tripped over there.
I'm not sure it could be much further away though.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You must have played here, Clinton, a few times.
Oh, many a times. I was just saying, John, it's one of my favourite grounds here, definitely. Even to commentate and play here. The atmosphere is always brilliant. Even when it's raining on an evening like this, it's still packed to the rafters. They're brilliant fans, Newcastle fans.
Yeah, great position we have low down, looking right along the halfway line at Fulham, coming forward. Ball played out to the right to Wilson. Wilson left-footed ball all the way across the penalty area. It's cleared away by Chow as Newcastle clear it, but it comes back on the edge of the box to Lukic, and then out it comes to the right-hand side to Wilson. Then Lukic is there as well. In comes the challenge on him from Ramsey, and the assistant down here says the final touch was off the Fulham man, and it's behind for a goal kick. So Newcastle 0, Fulham 0. First time I've seen Kevin live.
Me too. Some of the flicks around the corner, John, have been really exciting. If that's the start of things to come for the rest of the evening, it should be a good battle with him and young Lewis Miley.
Yeah, he's been on the bench for the last 4 matches, but obviously with with Fulham losing Chukwueze, who's done very well for them
Yes.
recently. Kevin gets his opportunity, and the young Brazilian, 22 years old, is playing mainly towards the left-hand side, but he has been drifting into the middle, hasn't he, the number 22? As we have 5 minutes on the clock here at St James's Park. The rain coming down. Fulham in possession with Anderson. And it is 0-0, very early stages, but Fulham on the attack in the pouring rain here on Tyneside. Cher heads it away on the edge of the penalty area, and Newcastle should clear it away. Livramento, in fact, as he heads it away, wins a free kick for handball on the edge of the box. Yes, Newcastle 0, Fulham 0. Newcastle making 6 changes tonight, so we're watching Yohan Wissa start for Newcastle for the first time. Not really got into the match so far, Clinton.
No, because Fulham have been the better team. It's Fulham that, with Kevin and Wilson, that are causing Newcastle a few problems down the flanks at the moment. But it's good to see Wissa start, and hopefully he can have an impression on the game. Because as I said, Voldemort has been outstanding, but they need a centre forward that's going to run in behind.
Yeah, neither goalkeeper has had to make a save so far. Lecomte coming in, as he has done for all of Fulham's matches in this competition this season, and of course Fulham having to deal with losing their 3 Nigerian players. So but those are the only 3 outfield changes that Marco Silva has made, and so far we've had a big cheer from the stands from Newcastle for a challenge by Willock, but it's Kevin on the attack for Fulham, into the Newcastle box, still going, and then in comes the challenge, which it needed as well from João. Went to ground, good tackle on Kevin near the dead ball line, and it's another corner to Fulham, their second of the match already.
Newcastle still look like they've got a hangover from the weekend. They haven't started, but credit to Fulham, it's good play, and Kevin's been really lively. Good defending in the end from Chiao, but they look a threat down that left-hand side with Kevin.
6 minutes on the clock, so Fulham have got a second corner. The first one from the right, Newcastle were able to deal with, but this one will be an out swinger from Wilson on the left, which he takes to the near post. Bodies have gone to ground, and I think the whistle has gone from referee England, who said it will be a second consecutive corner. So it was deflected behind at the near post. So Wilson again, this is not what Newcastle needed. You know, the Gallagate end behind the goal with the rain pouring down from the dark heavens, watching as the ball is played in, and it's headed away for Newcastle to comparative safety. So 7 minutes played here at St James's Park in the third of the quarter-finals. It remains Newcastle 0, Fulham 0. And we will continue on Sports Extra. We were on 5 Live there for about 90 seconds, 2 minutes. Fulham with the ball inside the box, Jimenez hooking it goalwards, but the whistle had already gone for a free kick to Newcastle in their own box. Clinton Morrison.
Yeah, Fulham have started well. Eddie Howe's just come out and tried to get his team going, because it's a flat start. You probably thought when Willock makes that tackle, and the crowd are playing their part, to be fair, you thought they'd be quiet, but they are trying to get on behind Newcastle, but it's been a slow start from them.
Yeah, Fulham have already been here this season and lost that match with Jacob Murphy opening the scoring. Lukic equalised before Bruno Guimaraes got what was eventually the winner. Here Smith rolled through the middle, but Chow importantly got a foot to that. He was able to hook it up in the air, and it's caught by Ramsdale. I would imagine the Fulham supporters up in the top end of the Leazes end are appealing for a back pass for that, but he was just trying to clear it.
No, and Marco Silva threw his hands in the air. Jimenez has to do better. It's a good opportunity. Livramento gives the ball away. It's a great opportunity.
Newcastle breaking through the middle, but the pass was, in fact, it's been brought back for a foul. Must have been a tug on the shirt, Clinton, by Ramsey.
Yeah, good turn from Ramsey, and I think Lukic pulled the shirt. He tried to play on, but he passed it out of play, so he goes back and gives the earlier free kick. Newcastle
United, the cup holders, got a very good record, recent record in this competition, having won it last season, but also been in 2 of the last 3 finals, and actually they are unbeaten in 9 matches in this competition since they lost on penalties against Chelsea in the 5th round the season before last. Here's Livramento, and now Harvey Barnes. Remember, though, Fulham were semi-finalists the season before last. And Cher hitting a long raking pass out to the right side. Murphy's early ball across, bounces out off the goalkeeper to Wissa, who scores in the 10th minute of his full debut for Newcastle United. When you've been signed for £50 million and you start for your new club for the first time, well, that's the sort of present that you absolutely love. 1-0 Newcastle.
You know what, John? You know who makes the goal? Fabian Schär. And let me tell you, the pass is outrageous. It's about 40 yards, 50 yards, diagonal over Robinson, and the ball in is fantastic. The ball in from Murphy's brilliant. Poor goalkeeping, John. Really poor goalkeeping. But that's where I want my centre forwards, in and around the 6-yard box. And it's brilliant for Wissa. He just taps it into an empty net. And that's what you want. A number 9 is going to be in and around the box. Good finish from Wissa.
Well, that will be music to his ears to hear that inside St James's Park. First start, it's come here on his new home ground, and Lecomte in the 6-yard box, the Fulham goalkeeper diving for it, actually just got a right hand to it and palmed it straight into the path of the arriving Wissa, who just popped it in.
I don't know what Lecomte is doing. I don't know what he's doing, because if he leaves it, there's no one at the back post for it, and it's so poor. He just plays it into Wissa. But that's what you want. That is what you want as a number 9 here, obviously in Newcastle. He got big shoes to fill wearing that shirt, that's for sure. Been some legends wearing that number 9 shirt. One in particular, the main man himself, Alan Shearer. But what a start for him when he's making his first start, and it's a really good goal.
Yeah, and also more generally for Newcastle United, the way that they played in the first 10 minutes of this match, for Eddie Howe and everyone in black and white, that is the classic settler, isn't it?
Definitely. Such poor goalkeeping, though. Marco Silva will be disappointed, because they've been the better team, Fulham.
Yep, so 1-0 it is to the cup holders. Sights set on the semi-final again, and already in a good position. All 3 matches in defence of their trophy have been here at St James's Park, as Barnes tried to play the ball through the middle. That was cut out. Lukic then out towards the left-hand side. Smith Rowe has peeled out over there. Miley goes with him, turns and gives it back behind him, and all the way infield again to the Norwegian Berger. Anderson has come up from the back. Orange boots, green kit. Then the cross from the right-hand side. Kevin was after it, but that was headed away by Miley inside the penalty area, and then it's driven forward by Bruno Guimaraes with the outside of his right boot. It's asking a lot of Ramsey, and yes, Cuenca's able to come back and see it back to goalkeeper Lecomte. But when you don't play very often, as he hasn't, Lecomte, this is his 4th appearance for Fulham. As I say, all of them have been in this competition. Leno is on the bench tonight. You know what? We always say it, don't we? If you're not playing regularly as a goalkeeper.
Yeah, it is difficult. But you know what? When it gets to this stage of the competition, I'm playing my best team and my best goalkeeper. I understand he's been the cup goalkeeper, but I'm playing my best, because, as you said, John, it's so difficult when you've been out in the cold to come and play like that. And that looked like a goalkeeper that's not been playing, because if you can see your angles around you, you can know if you just leave that goal, Anderson was dealing with it.
Well, Newcastle would have loved a chance like that on Sunderland in the derby match, but
Bruce is a different goalkeeper. He's a good goalkeeper, isn't he?
Yeah. But frankly, the way that they played on Sunday,
they didn't deserve that.
They didn't deserve that.
John, that goal's come at the right time, because Fulham were the better team, and it was a bit, even though the fans were getting behind them, you could see there were a bit nerves in the team.
Yeah. So Voltemada, it's not been a very good few days for him, has it?
He's been good, though. He has been.
Yeah, he
good.
has been.
I think he's the number 1 striker at the moment.
Yeah, the impression we've been given is that the jury was out and is now back in again, and isn't absolutely certain about Voltemada. But you know, I have to say, I'm with you. I like what I've seen from him so far, despite what happened on Sunday. Bruno Guimaraes gets the ball back. Livramento might have been fouled, but referee England has allowed it to go. Barnes now on his right foot, but the shot is blocked by the outstretched foot of Tete, and it's out of play for a throw into Newcastle.
Well, John, I don't understand how the jury can still be out on him. He's coming, he scored goals, he's had an assist, he leads the line ever so well. Yeah, he's different to Isak. You don't want to run him behind, but he wants to come and link. And he's still at a young age as well, John.
23 years old.
And he's a German international as well, leading the line for them.
He's their first choice.
So, you know what? Anyway, I think it will end up being a great signing for Newcastle.
Yeah, and I think as well, seeing how Isak improved under Eddie Howe, that's what we're looking for. Barnes playing the ball in, but too close to Lecomte, who's able to catch it. Players bearing down on him, then sprints to the edge of the area. You know, he's a very, very experienced goalkeeper. Lecomte delivers that downfield. Smith Rowe wins a free kick 10 yards inside Newcastle territory. This is his 428th career appearance, Lecomte. But at his previous clubs, obviously, he has been playing regularly. Montpellier last season.
Yeah, that's a lot of appearances, and obviously, yeah, he's a regular. And then all of a sudden, you become a backup. It is difficult, but Leno is a very good goalkeeper.
Yes, he is. But I'm with you. When I was writing out my potential teams, I thought, and you never know the deals that have been done and what's been agreed. As Fulham play it out to the left-hand side, Robinson's able to bring it down. His cross in, headed in, simple. There's the equaliser from Lukic. Arriving onto the cross, 8 yards out, nothing Ramsdale could do about that, and it's Newcastle 1, Fulham 1, and the Newcastle lead lasts for 6 minutes.
They thoroughly deserved that, Fulham. They've been the better team, they've been outstanding. They scored against the runner playing Newcastle, but it's a brilliant ball from Anderson, but even better from Robinson, who they have missed this season. Great touch and a great ball into the box, and that's just a third man run from midfielder. One of the midfielders has to pick him up. Brilliant header from Sasa Lukic into that far corner. Gave Ramsdale no chance, but a great response from Fulham. We have some cup tied here, John.
Sasa Lukic has scored 2 goals this season. They've both been here at St James's Park. Scored in the Premier League back in October, and then arriving, perfect timing, to head the ball back past Ramsdale to make it 1-1.
Someone has to be following the runner. It can't have a midfielder who sits there with Sander Berg that makes that run into the box. It's poor, but it's brilliant on Fulham's behalf.
Newcastle 1, Fulham 1. And almost that goal came as much of a surprise as the opening goal for Newcastle, in that after the promising opening spell, Newcastle had a measure of control after Wissa gave them the lead, but it's back all square, 1-1, and Newcastle attacking towards the Lees' end. Barnes being forced back into his own half, and actually the assistant's given that as a foul, so it's a free kick to Newcastle inside their own territory.
The referee's 5 yards away, the assistant's 10 yards away. Marco Silva's saying it to the linesman, do your job, let the referee do his job.
Actually, don't often see that
exactly.
these days.
He's getting mad at him, Marco Silva is.
He is. Yeah. Yes, he's dressed down, hasn't he, for the Cup quarter-final, Marco Silva?
Yeah, he's usually
on a wet
got
night.
His nice threads on, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, but he's got his baggy tracksuit bottoms and his trainers on tonight. Mind you, he will, like us, he's got so much experience, he knows what it's like here on a rainy night, that there is no cover.
It's not time for fashion up here now, is it, John? It's about keeping warm and dry.
It is. I nearly brought the umbrella from the car, actually, tonight, but decided against it at the last moment. But 2 of the most experienced managers we've got there. This is Eddie Howe's 198th match as the manager of Newcastle United. And you know, they're such familiar faces, aren't they? Marco Silva and Eddie Howe. They are the 10th and 6th longest serving managers at the top 92 clubs. Here's Livramento moving infield, playing it out towards the right-hand side, dragged back. It was by Willock, who gets it back. Willock's cross, whizzes onto this, heads it down into the ground though. Still inside the penalty area, and then it's hooked away and out of play. I think the offside flag is up.
No, I think you're right. The ball went out of play. It came out of Wissa. And that is where you miss Voltemada, because that chance there, Voltemada scores. So that's why you need 2 strikers that are totally different. It's a great ball in from Willock, and he don't really get the full contact on it, Wissa. His movement's brilliant. Yeah, he don't get the contact on it, but yeah, it's good play. One thing I would say, John, he just gets ahead of the ball. It's a great opportunity. Bruno Guimaraes is a player, by the way. The flicks that I've seen, he is one hell of a player.
Fulham now with Smith Rowe. Here's Kevin into the action again, running at Miley, still going to the edge of the box, stabs it to Wilson flicking it, then the shot from Kevin, but straight at Ramsdale, who's able to pick it up. He was stretching for it and therefore didn't get the power on it, straight at the goalkeeper. What
a chance that is, by the way. They look good down that left hand side with Kevin and Robinson. They're causing problems. There's a good little ball into Wilson, and Kevin be disappointed. I think there's just enough contact on him that he can't get the shot away cleanly, but it's been a brilliant start from Fulham.
Newcastle United 1, Fulham 1. BBC Radio 5 Sports Extra available on your digital radio. BBC Sounds. Still Manchester City 1, Brentford 0. Still Dundee United 0, Celtic 0, as Newcastle send Livramento chasing down the left, but he won't reach that. Cheers from the Fulham fans high in the stands. Rain absolutely pouring straight down now into St James's Park. Reminder, there is no extra time in these ties. It would go straight to penalties if it finished like this after the 90 minutes and added time. There is no VAR tonight, so we don't need to worry about that, so that'll please a lot of people.
Yes.
But there is goal line technology. Well, it'll please a lot of people until a horrendous decision goes against their
and then
team.
Everyone be moaning, why was
there no
VAR?
VAR? It's in
Exactly.
place.
You can't keep everyone happy, can you, John?
Premier League ground.
Exactly.
Between two Premier League teams.
Yeah.
When they played each other in the league here in October, VAR was in operation, but it's not for this tonight. Bruno Guimaraes, right-footed ball out towards the right-hand side. It's taken down by Murphy, then into the box to Willock, but Fulham are back in position. Cross comes in from Willock, too close to the goalkeeper, who comes and punches it though. Bruno Guimaraes on the edge of the area, plays it back behind Miley. So Newcastle still in possession. Wissa giving them the lead, but Lukic equalising 6 minutes later. Now into the box with Livramento. Livramento surrounded by green Fulham shirts, though crowded out in the end. And now actually Fulham are away on the counter-attack with Emil Smith-Rowe, who's getting a run in the Fulham team. This is the 4th match in a row that he's started in a Smith role, you might say, as it's played back to Lecomte. Left-footed clearance from him into the centre circle. Bruno Guimaraes gets to that, and then lovely roll to take it away from Jimenez. And then he couldn't play the simple pass, although Newcastle still in possession with Willock. Right-footed ball curls out towards the right-hand side, where it is taken down and played back to Miley, and then back to the halfway line where Cher will play it forward. Newcastle with lots and lots of injuries in defence, hence the reason that Miley's at right back. Lewis Hall, hamstring problem keeping him out, so that'll be a little while. Ball in from Murphy, but that's cleared away for Fulham. Comes back to Miley. Miley goes square to Bruno Guimaraes. They wanted him to shoot. Little ball to Miley on the edge of the box. Then looking for Murphy. Murphy's cross took a deflection, looked to the back post. Barnes heads it across. Fulham though are able to clear. Combination of Tete and Wilson, and then Jimenez is fouled by Cher near the centre circle, and that's a free kick, and it's a yellow card.
You don't have to do that. Chia's behind him. I know Jimenez is spinning him behind, but it's the defender that doesn't want to run back towards goal. Chia's behind him and he's covering. He's quick enough to deal with Raul Jimenez, and it's a poor yellow card from Fabian Cher. But that was better from Newcastle. Willock, Ramsey, Bruno getting on the ball and making things happen.
Yeah, just a hand on the shoulder, went down, but he was breaking away. But that is significant, Clinton, because that is a suspension for Cher in this competition.
And they've already got injuries as well, John.
Yeah, and that first leg of the semi-final, I doubt Byrne will be back by then.
They need Botman back then.
And Botman not involved tonight, but not far away. Here's Barnes to Guimaraes. No, wasted shot, edge of the area, puts his hands on his face. Challenge came in on him actually, as he looked to shoot from Cuenca, but it flew away over the top of the bar 5 or 6 yards.
Yeah, I think Barnes can give him a better ball. I think he can play it like into him a bit better to Bruno. And to be fair, it's good tracking back on that left-hand side, really good tracking back. And he puts his hand up because he expects better from himself, Bruno Guimaraes. But he started ever so well for Newcastle.
Well, he's the captain. He was the man who said that the way that they played was a bit of a mess on Sunday, which I know also provoked quite a bit of debate.
I know, I think he got misinterpreted when he says that. He's like, probably a mess in the way they played.
A mess of a performance,
exactly.
is what he said. Here's Murphy. Murphy's ball from the right, sweeps across the 6-yard box. No one gets a touch. Livramento, I don't think can keep that in. And actually the offside flag is up in any case, so it's a free kick. Midway through the first half, Clinton Morrison, Newcastle 1, Fulham 1, and it has been enjoyable.
Very enjoyable. It's flown by, to be fair, John, and you know when it flies by, it's an enjoyable game. I do think Fulham have probably been the better team at the moment, but Newcastle now in the last 5 minutes are growing into the game. So yeah, it's a really entertaining football match. I've
seen a lot of Fulham in the latter stages of cup competitions in recent seasons, and they've never won a major trophy, a bit like Crystal Palace until last season. The quarter-final this season. Last season they were in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup, lost to Palace. Season before that, semi-finals of this competition, lost to Liverpool. Season before that, quarter-finals of the FA Cup, lost to Manchester United. Here comes Wilson, passing the ball through into the penalty area, but Ramsdale, out of his 6-yard box to his left, is able to come and pick it up. Point being that if you keep on knocking on the door and getting this far, at some point, a little bit like Newcastle and Palace,
you'll eventually win.
You will.
Yeah, you win. But this is a big game for them. This was always hard coming to Newcastle, but it's a good opportunity for them because they've started well.
And they've got a manager who has won things.
Yes, he has. He has won things.
Not a stack of trophies, but he has won trophies.
He has. First and foremost, I think they'll want him to sign that new contract very soon as well, John.
Yeah. Yeah, won the Portuguese Cup in his time at Sporting, won the Greek League title. If you remember, Fulham were promoted with him. They won the championship. Newcastle, well, that's given us a foul by challenge centre field from Jacob Ramsey on Berger, so free kick near the centre circle to Fulham.
Yeah, I don't think it's Ramsey's one. I think it was Willock that pulled back the first one, yeah.
25 minutes played. Newcastle United won, Fulham won. The semi-final draw will be tonight as Miley heads the ball back. Ramsdale's going to do well to keep that in. He can't keep it in, and actually possibly just as well. He was sprinting after it, looking to claw it away. And that, there'd been half a worry that he actually clawed it back into play to Kevin, but it's behind, and it's a corner to Fulham.
Yeah, as I said, he looks lively on that left-hand side, Kevin. He's playing against young Miley, who's not a natural fullback, but Miley's done all right against him at times.
Yes, Kevin at St James's Park conjures up a few memories, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Of course, Fulham manager, very successfully, Kevin Keegan. Free. So here's the corner. I think Wilson is going to take this. No, in fact, it's played. Oh, it takes a deflection inside the penalty area. I thought that might have struck an arm,
No, good job there's no VAR, because it did strike an arm. I think it struck Willock's arm, you're right, John.
Just stretching across it. And no VAR, so that's gone. Here's Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe then back towards the halfway line. And Fulham will start again. But there is just a little bit of a jittery feel around St James's Park when their team is under pressure, as Fulham have it with Anderson, the Danish defender, then forward to Smith Rowe, who's dropped quite deep here. Now to the right-hand side, Fulham, who won at Burnley at the weekend. That really was a boost for them. So already Fulham 20 points this season. The second half of the season is similar to or better than the first. There'll be no worries about them staying in the Premier League this season.
No, that's why I'm glad Marco Silva went strong today, because there's no worries at all with Fulham.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Go for it.
Exactly.
And the FA Cup, they've got a home tie against Middlesbrough in the third round. We're looking forward to bringing you lots and lots of commentaries from the third round next month. Here's Kevin on the left-hand side, looked to play it forward, it bounced back. Newcastle have it, Miley, then back to Chow inside the penalty area. Had to be careful there, but he plays it away up to Wissa, who's challenged, and Berger's able to get a touch on that. So Fulham have got it back in the central third of the field. Quite an even match.
Can you hear that, John, the whistling? Because the Newcastle fans want them to go and press Fulham, and Fulham are dominating possession.
Jimenez to Kevin, just outside the box, goes for the shot, but hits it wildly wide into the Gallagate end, probably a quarter of the way up the stand, and then with his both hands rubs his fingers through his hair. So goal kick, and it remains 1-1. Kevin Clinton was signed during this last transfer window, when famously Fulham were the lowest spenders in the Premier League in this transfer window, this record spending that there was by almost all of the other clubs. But Kevin signed for a club record £34 million and a little bit more from Shakhtar Donetsk, and he has caught the eye as referee England is going to
book him.
Yeah, in fact it's an accumulation. He's pointed to various points around the pitch and said that Sasa Lukic has committed a foul here, there, and down here as well, when he just tugged back Ramsey. So it's a free kick and a yellow card for Sasa Lukic. Just checking if he's on the list for Fulham in terms of suspensions for the semi-finals, but he's not. Yes. Ball played back towards the edge of the Newcastle penalty area. Yes, I made a list, Clinton, and I've checked it twice.
That's good.
Cher infield to Bruno Guimaraes. Bruno Guimaraes back to Cher, left-footed ball forward, but Anderson was able to get up, watch that onto his forehead. Tete clears it away. Bruno Guimaraes though to Miley in the centre circle, then forward towards Willock, back to Miley. Willock again. Tonali's on the bench tonight, as is Joe Linton.
They've suffered a bit, them two, though. They've not been at their best, have they? No. In particular, Joe Linton, who's been outstanding for Newcastle the last few years.
Yeah, and Tonali started this season so well. Here's Cher up towards the edge of the penalty area, as he likes to do, driving forward from centre-back. However, it makes its way back to Bruno Guimaraes. So close here, we can see the holes in the back of Bruno Guimaraes' black socks. Comes back to him now. Gets the ball under control. Fulham have got everyone back behind the ball. It's 1-1 if you've just joined us here on BBC Radio. Cher across the edge of the penalty area to Miley. Good challenge there from Raúl Jiménez it was. And then the pass forward from Kevin just gives it back to Newcastle. He was trying to find Wilson, but was nowhere near.
So poor, John. He shouldn't do that. There's so much acres for Harry Wilson. He was in there.
Yeah, needs to be better than that from Kevin. And now Newcastle again. Livramento near the edge of the box. Barnes ahead of him. Out to the left-hand side is Ramsey. Ramsey back to Barnes on the edge of the box. Barnes takes on Anderson, but just has to, again, check back. Then right-footed ball curls all the way over everyone and beyond the far post and behind. And it remains 1-1 with just under 15 minutes to play.
Well, you know what? This is a fine night to play football, John. The rain is just a little bit... It's a little bit of rain now. It's a greasy night. As a centre forward, I used to love these nights because you know defenders are going to make mistakes. You can follow shots up, and it's just a greasy night, and the ball skids off the surface. It's a good night to play.
Yes, it is. Fulham, I think, say growing in confidence. They've had confidence since the outset. So say winning at Burnley at the weekend, winning their last away match at Tottenham, who are obviously at a little bit of a low ebb at the moment. Commentary on their match on Saturday will be on 5 Live, 5:30, Tottenham against Liverpool. As Newcastle play it back, Cher to Ramsdale. Nick Pope apparently not too far away from being available again. Then forward from Cher, Livramento on this left-hand side. I mean, he's as comfortable on the left as he is on the right, Livramento.
Top player. You can see why Man City want him so badly, don't they, John? They'll find it hard to keep hold of him, Newcastle. I'm not going to say it too loudly.
Yeah, I think he'd be pretty close to Thomas Tuchel's starting team, Livramento. Sure. Possibly at left back.
That's what I was just about to say, because I think Reece James has been outstanding at right back.
Even I think Reece James is his man.
Yeah, it's his man. It's his main man. But he deserves it. I think Reece James is a top player, but Livramento's a top player as well.
But O'Reilly did so well.
He did.
You know, he's going to be part of this Manchester City team.
Yeah, you're right. That challenge Arsenal,
But I think it would be a major surprise if Livramento wasn't in the England squad next summer, when we're looking forward to bringing all of that to you. Newcastle 1-1 and still 1-0 to Manchester City against Brentford, which was a 7:30 kickoff, 8:15 here, and then, as I say, Arsenal against Crystal Palace next Tuesday night, when Crystal Palace, I think, might have a chance there of getting through to the semi-finals.
I hope so, John.
I knew you would. Clinton,
we need another day out at Wembley.
It's just come back to me that, of course, the man to hand over the trophy at Wembley in the last match there, senior men's match.
Let me tell you something. Palace fans love you, John. That bit of commentary goes down in history. They keep showing it to me every time I go back there.
Well, it was an honour to be able to do it for them. Quite emotional it was, even though I've got no connection. Unlike you, I've got no connection at all. But it was similarly emotional for Newcastle when they won first domestic trophy for 70 years, first major trophy since 1969. Ball played for Newcastle, but over the top of Chell, and that will bounce out of play for a goal kick.
Did we do that with Sean Dyche? Was it?
We did.
We got him his manager's job. He was so impressed. They were so impressed with him there. They said they were going to think about it. That must have been half the reason.
More than half the reason. Goal kick to Fulham. Just gone into a little bit of a lull here after that entertaining first 20-25 minutes. So Lecomte will take this. Lecomte, who, whenever I say his name, it always makes me think of Blackadder. Don't know whether you're a Blackadder fan.
I wasn't, but I know what you're talking about.
The Comte de Frou-Frou. There's Anthony Robinson, who set up the Fulham goal in the central third. Back it goes to Anderson, and then They will play the ball all the way back to the experienced 34-year-old Fulham goalkeeper, very much at fault for that opening goal, just pushing the ball straight to Wissa. It looked as though Newcastle were firing, having brought Wissa in to start, scores in the 10th minute, but Fulham have pegged them back with that headed equaliser from Lukic, so it is 1-1. And stepping forward, Cher heads it over the halfway line, Barnes tries to bring it down, Anderson hooks it away, Newcastle again with Bruno Guimaraes. So without Tonali in the team, Guimaraes is playing in that central role as opposed to the right central midfield position that he'll generally play when Tonali's in the team. Ball passed forward, looking for Wissa, but pass just didn't have enough on it. So Fulham have got it back with Lecomte, who actually rather hurried clearance up towards Kevin, who's beaten in the air by the now quite tall Lewis Miley, who goes back towards the halfway line, and then Fabian Cher will walk it forward again with a left-footed pass to Wissa, tried to turn it into the path of Willock on the edge of the box, but Fulham were there in numbers, and now Fulham, all in green, will bring it forward with Jimenez, but he is firmly and sturdily challenged by Ramsey, who went in with his shoulder, took the ball, and actually that's lifted the crowd, that challenge by Jacob Ramsey, the former Aston Villa man, arriving during this recent transfer window. Barnes, now to Bruno Guimaraes. Bruno Guimaraes is going to shoot, which he does, and Lecomte just pats it away, and then across from Murphy, Wissa in the middle, scraped away by Fulham, comes out again to Ramsey, and then Livramento went for a curler, but it didn't have enough bend on it. We were right behind the line of the shot, and there wasn't enough draw on that, and it sailed away for a goal kick. 1-1.
Lecomte looked proper nervous, John. That wasn't even a hard shot from Bruno. You knew where it was going to go, and he parries it back into danger, and then it comes to Murphy, and in the end you think this is going to score, but I think Anderson, it's well defended from Joachim Anderson, and Livramento bends it over the bar, but it's much better from Newcastle.
Yeah, parried away by Lecomte, and similarly that could have gone anywhere as well, and he was fortunate that they survived that.
Yeah, they were very fortunate. Does my head in when goalies can catch the ball, John, and they want to punch it all the time.
Newcastle United 1, Fulham 1 here at St James's Park. Clinton Morrison with me, Premier League goal scorer, Republic of Ireland international, went to the World Cup. Newcastle putting pressure on this Fulham defence, and then it's played away by Robinson for Smith Rowe. Chow comes across, Chow's able to get there and play it back towards the edge of the penalty area. Applause from the Newcastle fans. I think the rain has just eased slightly.
It's a lovely evening.
Well, our engineer Mark said to us, as soon as I arrived tonight, he said, torrential rain forecast from 8 o'clock for the rest of the evening.
Mark looks at the weather apps, that's why. I've got to tell him, don't ever believe those weather apps. If John is coming looking like it's summer, then I know the weather's going to be good.
Here we are on the hill in Tyneside. As soon as you get a sight of Tyneside, you are immediately drawn. Tonight the floodlights were on, weren't they, Clinton, on the dark December afternoon. You could see Newcastle. I'm pleased to say they've started to paint the Tyne Bridge as well. Cher playing the ball forward down into the full-back position. Wissa is onto this. Wissa in the full-back position. Barnes is there as well. Gordon on the bench tonight. Bruno Guimaraes, square from him. Miley, they wanted him to shoot, but he goes out to the right-hand side to Murphy. And Jacob Murphy on his left foot, but he's all right-footed there as he moves all the way across from right to left. Comes actually almost out to the left-hand side. Gives it to Barnes. Barnes left-footed cross to the back post. Headed across, but that was blocked. Miley initially with a header, then it comes back in, but that's cleared away out for a throw into Newcastle down the right-hand side, and that's more of a roar now from St James's Park.
Yeah, and it all starts from Wissa making a run into the channel. So that's what he wants to do. It frees it up, running in. He's so different to Voldemort, and it's good to have another option, but yeah, it was a good header back from Miley.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, isn't it, when Wissa is fully fit and firing, what Eddie Howe does. Will he play them both in the same team? Because Wissa can play as he did at Brentford, in a wider position, can't he?
Yeah, he can.
What would you do?
I'd probably, they got enough games with the Champions League, I'd probably rotate the two of them. definitely. I don't know. There might be times where you can play them both together, but I think it'll be one in and one out, and that's it.
But they could definitely play in the same team.
Yeah, definitely, because Vissa did that with Brian and Buemo, and they caused a lot of problems with Kevin Sharda as well.
Yeah, in the old days when Newcastle would almost always be 4-4-2, you'd have those two up front, wouldn't you, as a partnership?
A big man,
a little man.
Yeah, it would definitely work, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. As the ball cheers because it bounced forward, hit the corner flag, and bounced out for a throw-in rather than a goal kick. We've got 5 minutes to go to half-time. 1-1 after Newcastle took the lead through Wissa. His first goal for the club in his 4th appearance. Great as a Newcastle number 9, and he is the number 9. They've given him the number 9 to score your first goal at St James's Park, even though it wasn't at the Gallagate end, it was at the Leazes end, but he'll take that. Here is Newcastle after the throw from Fulham. Cross from the right-hand side from Willock, but straight into the arms of Lecomte, who's able to catch it and then kicks it out to Livramento, who said thanks very much, and Newcastle are off on another attack. Wilson chasing him. Livramento plays it to Guimaraes. Then pass to the left-hand side to Barnes. Barnes with the ball at his feet against Tete, the right back. Then back more centrally to Guimaraes. And then Cher is there as well. Fabian Cher. Chow takes a couple of touches and then passes the ball nicely for Murphy. Murphy's low ball across is side-footed wide of his own goal by the defender for a corner.
Yeah, Cuenca. It's good. Yeah, it's very good defending. But he switches off, Kevin. For how good Fulham were in the first 15-20 minutes, it's been Newcastle that have been the better team. But Kevin has to stay with Murphy there. But good defending from Cuenca. Nicely
played by Newcastle there, though. Lovely pass from Chow to Murphy. So it's a corner to Newcastle. I think this is their first one, isn't it, Newcastle? As this will be taken from the right-hand side. Just a little bit of it. Actually, they take it short to Livramento. And Livramento plays it back out towards the right-hand side to Miley, who took the corner. Then his cross is headed away by Jimenez near the penalty spot. And then Murphy lifts one over the top. Tete, under no particular pressure, twists and heads it out for a throw. Throw to Newcastle down the left. 2 minutes to play. Manchester City are 2-0 up, Clinton. Savino has got a second one. So
they are cooking at the moment, John. They are in fantastic form.
Yeah.
Pressure is going to mount, you know. Arsenal looking over their shoulder. They could go ahead and be told. I know it's a cup game this evening, but they could go above them, couldn't they? They play early on the weekend.
That's right. That is our Saturday 3 o'clock commentary match on 5 Live. Manchester City against West Ham. Newcastle take the throw. Livramento crosses it into the box. That's headed again out towards the left-hand side here. Throw-in is taken by Bruno Guimaraes to Livramento. Guimaraes gets it back. Guimaraes, right-footed curler in there. Lecomte comes, catches it. As it curled right towards his face. His players were arriving. He's able to hold it securely and then pass it out. And then Kevin plays the ball at the edge of his own penalty area, asking questions of Anderson. Newcastle putting pressure on Fulham here as half-time approaches. Guimaraes to Barnes. Barnes now, left-footed cross, over the top of Wissa, bounces for Murphy. Murphy shoots, it's deflected wide. Shouts for a potential penalty for the challenge on Wissa, but referee Darren England's not interested in that. And again, if you've just switched on, there is no VAR, so that'll be the end of that. But Wissa's still on the ground.
No, it's good defending. I think Barnes does ever so well, and I think it's Robinson who just stands his ground and Wissa goes over the top of him. But I don't know what Kevin's doing over the last 10 minutes, but he's been very, very poor, John. Very poor. Giving the ball away like that. Marco Silva turned and threw his hands in the air. He was very frustrated.
And there was absolutely no chance that would have been given as a penalty. So it's a corner from the right for Newcastle. Miley plays it into the edge of the 6-yard box. Cher on the stretch, couldn't get there because there were too many defenders in the way. They defended that well, actually, Fulham, with the numbers. Guimaraes is chased after the ball, but Jimenez has done really well, actually. Jimenez means that Fulham have got it, plays it forward to Smith Rowe. Lukic is making a run, still Smith Rowe, but Wissa tackles back and dispossesses Smith Rowe, leaves him on the ground. Newcastle on the counter-attack, but then it's swept away by Berger from Wissa as he was looking to advance. And Fulham have got it back inside their own half. 1-1 the score.
I think Marco Silva wanted a foul there on Smith Rowe, but then Vissa done ever so well. And these is valuable minutes for him moving forward. He's been sharp, hasn't he, John?
He has. Lecomte, long and downfield. Jimenez wins the header, but that will bounce all the way through to Ramsdale, just outside of his penalty area. Newcastle pass it forward to Guimaraes, who's got space here and goes for the early pass down the right wing. Murphy herring onto it, couldn't get there. Out of play for a throw-in to Fulham.
Good race that. Not many beat Robinson in a race, do they, John? So yeah, it's a really good race.
Yeah, he's missed a lot of football this season. This is only his third start in all competitions, Anthony Robinson, this season. He's had this knee problem, and it's a big year for him. USA international. You know, he's got 50 caps. He'll be a part of things with Mauricio Pochettino if he's fit next summer.
Yeah, definitely. He'll manage his minutes for sure. No one wants to miss a World Cup, John. That's for sure.
Not in the United States. If you're a USA international, 1 minute of added time. You can hear just Eddie Howe clapping away through our effects microphone just down on the side of the pitch. If he wins tonight, that would be his 100th win in all competitions as the Newcastle United manager. They've both been in charge, similar amount of time, just over 4 years. It's Marco Silva's 204th match. It's Eddie Howe's 198th, and they've got a similar record actually.
Yeah, two very good managers as well.
Yeah. Ball back to Fulham. A heavy touch from Cuenca, but it was deflected back to Lecomte. Tete came across, and some Newcastle fans are saying, how about that for a back pass, but the referee says play on.
No chance.
No.
He's lucky, Anderson, because he's not the quickest. He tried to take a touch there. Lucky Tete bailed him out there.
And that is it for the first half. Even first half, 1-1. Newcastle took the lead through Wissa. Lukic equalising with the header 6 minutes later. So it is well balanced.
Yeah, I think it's about right. I think Fulham were the better team at the start, but then Newcastle go and take the lead, and then Fulham get back into it. So yeah, I think it's been an even first half, and 1-1's a deserved result.
So 1-1, the players just leaving the field. Lewis Miley standing right back because of all of Newcastle's defensive injury problems, just running his finger through his hair. Anthony Robinson there, who sent over the cross. Lecomte, the goalkeeper, shakes his head, doesn't he, as he walks down into the tunnel. He knows that he made the mistake which led to the Wissa goal. You can tell it in his body language.
Definitely. But you know what? He still can be the hero. You never know. They've still got the second half. It could go to penalties as well, John. So he has to put that out of the back of his head down, put that out of his mind, and concentrate on the second half. So there we are. That's it on Sports Extra for the first half. Right now on 5 Live, it's the closing stages of Manchester City's what will surely be a win to take them into the semi-final, 2-0 against Brentford, unless there's late drama there. And I suspect you'll be hearing that very shortly. But we will be back for the second half with the score here at the break. Newcastle United 1, Fulham 1.
You would think so, yeah, absolutely. And what looks like a tight game and a competitive one.
So 1-1 there. Chelsea, of course, are already through. Manchester City lead by 2-0. 16 minutes remaining. Mukasa, he's tall and lean, isn't he? He's 18 years of age, 6 times an unused substitute this season. He's been at West Ham since the age of 5. As the ball is passed back to Vandenberg, and now it is with Yarmouk, and Yarmouk's diagonal ball is to Damsgaard, and crossfield ball has been cut out, and Manchester City coming forward. Savinho runs and looks for the run of Reinders, and they get a corner kick to Manchester City.
Yeah, good play from City, but Brentford an opportunity is again. You can see what they're trying to do. You can see what their game plan has been. They've looked merry and bright at times, but their execution just hasn't been exactly what they need it to be, and that's been the difference. When City have really tried to create and do something, their execution and delivery has been of the highest draw, and Brentford haven't been able to equal that.
Coyote's coming off, Aaron Hickey's coming on. It's his 50th appearance for the club since he was signed for £14 million from Bologna in 2022. And then the other change is going to be Rico Henry, who is coming off, and Lewis Potter comes to replace him. So like for like with the right and left wing back respectively, with the substitutions being made there by Keith Andrews. Manchester City lead 2-0. We've got under a quarter of an hour remaining here on 5 Live. Manchester City have a corner kick, far side the right. Swung over now from the left. Ake's header. Guardiola tries to get it goalwards, and eventually they get the ball away. Slipped by Ake. What a surface water behind him as he left a trailing arm there. And Jensen will pass the ball towards Vandenberg, and Brentford now have an opportunity to get the ball clear as we'll nip into the darts and James Gregg.
Raymond van Barneveld, a name familiar to many, a 5-time world champion, great rival to Phil Taylor in the 2000s, is out, knocked out in the first round, beaten by the Swiss thrower Stefan Belmont. 3-0 it finished, and he looked delighted with himself into round 2. Next on stage, James Wade on this throwback night at the Palace.
Foden enters the area. Foden tries to keep his balance. He goes down. The referee says in the end it'll be a free kick to Brentford. Half times in the Women's Champions League. It's all the English sides are guaranteed to progress. It's whether one of those sides could get into the top 4 for automatic qualification for the quarter-finals, and that's what Chelsea are doing at this stage. Wolfsburg 1, Chelsea 1, Juventus 0, Manchester United 1, and Leuven 0, Arsenal 2. So Arsenal would be 5th, Manchester United 6th. It would mean that they go both into the playoffs as it currently stands. Katie Smith will round up all of that a little later on for you here on 5 Live Sport. 13 minutes remaining, and that peters out, and it will be a goal kick for... No, it hasn't actually rolled out of play due to the wet conditions. It's slowed up, and it allows Trafford to clear long downfield, and then that should be seen back towards Valdemarsen. Leon Osman.
Yeah, Brentford now, you've got that moment of the game where 77 minutes gone, 2-0 behind. It is a cup competition. To get back in this, you need to give everything you've got. You need all the energy that you've got left. You need the quality. You need to show desire. You may end up getting beat by 3 or 4, but do you go for it in this moment? On top of that, you know you've got a game coming up at the weekend. Is this too far out? So the big moment, big 5 minutes is for Brentford about their attitude to the game.
Ball played forward. Reinders has made that run. His touch, though, takes him out wide on that right-hand side. Back towards Savinho. Savinho now darts in field, goes down inside the area. That'll be a corner kick for Manchester City. He's looked sharp since he switched out, hasn't he?
He has. I think he has been one of the brighter players tonight. I think he really has, but Brentford defender certainly saying no room at the end there as he stepped into the penalty area.
Thiago and Henderson picked up knocks at the weekend, so they haven't been included. But they'll look to be back in contention for that game at Molineux at the weekend. Manchester City have a corner kick, far side the right, swung over now, cleared by Brentford. The cricket, as a reminder, gets underway at 11 o'clock on Sports Extra. Second day of the 3rd test in Adelaide. Australia resuming 326 for 8 in their first innings. Celtic are still leading by a 1-0 at Tannadice against Dundee United. Bernardo Silva. We're back here together again for the visit of West Ham United for our commentary at 3. Can't wait for that, Leon.
I would expect you can't, to be honest. It's a game I'm looking forward to.
Further changes look like they're being made by Manchester City with the hive of activity down below. 11 minutes remaining. If Brentford, and they're going to make a change too, if Brentford could get a goal back, then we might have an interesting finale. But at the minute, it's going to be Ramel Donovan who's going to be coming on. Made his debut against Grimsby in the last round for this attacking midfielder who they signed from Birmingham. In comes the throw from that left-hand side. They win the ball back again. This is Jensen. Jensen in field to Damsgaard. Damsgaard turns, can't get the shot away, surrounded by at least 2 sky blue shirts. In it goes. Collins has stayed forward, flag is up. That'll be a free kick. He'd only made 10 appearances for Birmingham. They signed him for £3 million. He actually had a loan spell at Burton Albion as well, did Donovan last season, and he is going to come on, and the player is going to be going off is Matthias Jensen, his 250th appearance comes to an end. Donovan then will come on for Brentford with just under 10 minutes remaining. Leon Osborne.
Yeah, he can be pleased with his performance. Jensen, not the outcome it looks that he was hoping for in such a big landmark game for him. A chance for Donovan to come on and do something. Foden, Manchester City sub getting sub.
And Phil Foden clearly being protected for the weekend. The substitute making way for the substitute. And Charlie Gray coming on for his Manchester City debut. An England youth international, highly rated central midfielder. He joined the club at the age of 8. But there are reports that he's turned down the latest contract offer and talks that he might be moving abroad. So Charlie Gray coming on for a glimpse of first team action. He's slight, diminutive, with short, light brown hair. Charlie Gray comes on, the teenager, for his City bow for the last 9 minutes for the number 59. And we will go to Tannadice. Dundee United Celtic, Kenny Crawford.
54 minutes gone, Ian. Still Dundee United 0, Celtic 1, but the home side have started this second half really strongly indeed. They had a flurry of corners a minute ago. Zach Sapsford is one of their blonde-haired Australian strikers. He had a couple of shots blocked by Austin Trusty, a despairing lunge from Austin Trusty to make sure it wasn't goal bound, and then Ross Graham, the centre back for Dundee United, had a header that went straight into the arms of Kasper Schmeichel. Dundee United 0, Celtic 1.
Well, that'll keep Foden ticking over, won't it? A run out for just over an hour.
Yeah, it's perfect time, to be honest. Yeah, I always try and say, especially when you're younger anyway, anything up to about 70 minutes really is not that much more difficult than training, really. It's always the last 15-20 minutes of a game where you really start stretching your body.
Touch there for Gray. Mateus Nunes in the midfield. Ake, Guardiola on this near side to left. Another one of the substitutes for Pep Guardiola. He knows what it's like to manage this busy schedule for the when they're playing in Europe's elite competition. They're also going on all fronts. Doesn't like the big squads. He's quite vocal about that. But he's tried and trusted. As here is Bernardo Silva, left corner of the area. Mukasa back then with Mateus Nunes. The home side still lead 2-0. 7 minutes remaining of normal time. Gray for Manchester City. Mukasa, the two teenagers combining. Mateus Nunes. Brentford at this stage can't get a kick. They're just keeping the ball, and they've got the control of Manchester City. And Gray is able to turn, and he now runs forward with his head up and then looks towards Mukasa coming in off the left touch line. Mukasa back towards Gray, and that will allow Donovan to nip in for Brentford. You can hear the applause in the background from the loyal City supporters braving these wet and cold conditions, as some of them now just start to drift for the exits as their side are making progress through to the last 4. Leon.
Just a nice bit of play from two young teenagers there for Manchester City. City keep the ball as ever they do, but good awareness from Charlie Gray. Just realised he was a bit of space, getting on the half turn, playing a nice ball between wing back and centre back to Newcastle, who stepped into the box quite well. He then just chopped back and tried to keep the ball, and his manager actually telling him he should be going for goal in those moments. Really positive for them too.
Since Bayer Leverkusen triumphed here by 2-0, Manchester City looking for 6 wins. And with a 2 tonight, they'll have scored 18 goals in the process and conceded 7. And that was in those mad games against Leeds and Fulham. As Pep Guardiola motionless watches on. Triangular passing patterns from Manchester City. Moving it at will, sharp and slick in the wet conditions. Just over 5 minutes remaining. 1-1 at the break. They'll be resuming in around 3 or 4 minutes time, I'd suggest, at St James's. Newcastle, Fulham. We'll be having commentary here very soon on BBC Radio 5 Live with John Murray and Clinton Morrison from the northeast, as a raking ball out towards that far side is headed away by a backpedaling Lewis Potter. Picked up though by Nunes. Forward towards Gray. Gray to Bernardo Silva, helps it on its way. Gvardiol joins the attack, and no let-up from this Manchester City side, Leon.
No, they just make you work right till the very end. They just keep the ball and move it from side to side. As an opposing player, you have to move across the pitch, and the moment you lose concentration, that's when City generally have the awareness to hurt you.
Savino goes on the outside with a cutback as well towards Rico Lewis. Sharda back there helping out, tries to spin away from the challenge of Husinov, and with his pace he's away from Husinov. They've also tried to pull him back, Mateus Nunes. He was being impeded there. That's going to be a yellow card. Mateus Nunes is booked. Sharda, to his credit, tried to stay on his feet for as long as he could. He wins a free kick for Brentford midway through the City half. There's been another goal at Tannadice, Kenny Crawford.
And it's now problems for the visitors, because it's Dundee United 1, Celtic 1. A brilliantly swept home goal by Christian Kerezdes, the Hungarian defender. It was after a prolonged period of pressure that Dundee United put on Celtic. Will Ferry's deep cross to the back post, only half cleared by Celtic. And as I said, Kerezdes swept it in left-footed into the bottom right-hand corner to make it Dundee United 1, Celtic 1.
Problems for the visitors, problems certainly for their new coach Wilfred Nancy. 3 straight defeats going into that game, as Brentford are going to make a late change. Yunus Konak, this young Turkish midfielder, is going to be coming on. It's his first involvement in the Brentford first team this season. Made 12 appearances as a substitute last season, so he's going to be getting a little bit of a run out in the last 3 minutes or so. And in fact, as the ball goes very, very long, as is Gustavo Nunez, his first involvement as well. Made his debut, actually, the young Brazilian, against Arsenal back in April. So a late opportunity, as Keith Andrews is just going to maybe rest some legs again for these closing minutes for that trip to Wolves in mind. It's going to be Yarmouk who comes off for Kuna.
And as Ian Dennis fades away on Sports Extra, you can continue listening to Ian and Leon Osman and the conclusion of that match on 5 Live. Not long to go. It looks as though Manchester City are on their way through to the semi-finals, 2-0 up against Brentford. But this is John Murray at St James's Park, where it is Newcastle United 1, Fulham 1, as the players emerge from the tunnel just down below us. Here, Fulham in their green kit, and now Newcastle United, the black and white striped shirts, are out there as well. Clinton Morrison, Premier League goal scorer, Republic of Ireland international, is sitting alongside me and suggesting, and yes, I think there is going to be a change, Harrison Reid coming on into the Fulham midfield. Clinton.
Lukic, he got a yellow card, didn't he, John?
He did.
But he scored a good goal, you know. It's a bit disappointing, that, isn't it?
You would think surely that must be a fitness problem.
Surely it's got to be, because it was a fantastic header, and I know you're worried about him getting a second yellow card, but I'm sure players nowadays can manage it, and he's played well in that first half, so it's definitely got to be a slight injury.
Yeah, so Harrison Reid coming on into the Fulham midfield, just his 5th appearance of the season, although previously he had started all of the matches in this competition, but experienced midfielder, former Southampton man. So we are ready for the start of the second half. Just that one change made. So Newcastle, Ramsdale in goal, Miley at right back because of the now injury to Lewis Hall, who wasn't able to be involved in this match. Newcastle kick off the second half, 1-1 the score. So Miley at right back, Cher, Chow and Livramento at left back. Then in midfield, Bruno Guimaraes in the middle with Jacob Ramsey and Joe Willock either side. And then Jacob Murphy and Harvey Barnes in the wide positions, with Johan Wissa up front, starting for Newcastle for the first time and scoring in the 10th minute of the match. But Lukic equalised, but has now gone off at half-time. So Fulham with Lecomte in goal, Tete, Anderson, Cuenca and Robinson. Then Berger and Reid now. Wilson on the right, Smith Rowe in the middle, Kevin on the left and Raúl Jiménez up front. So this is BBC Radio 5 Sports Extra. We will be on 5 Live once they've wrapped things up at Manchester City. Livramento can't keep the ball in on the far side, so to throw in to Fulham. And back it goes. Newcastle attacking towards the Gallagate end in the second half, as they like to do, as Jiménez gets up on the halfway line, heads the ball forward, but Miley will just allow this to run back to Ramsdale. What are you looking for in the second half, Clinton, from Newcastle and from Fulham?
Well, Fulham will be happy with how it's going, to keep it like this for Newcastle, and they try and get one on the counter-attack. With Newcastle, you just want the tempo to be quicker. But I do think they'll look to their bench after about 60-65 minutes, and they have a lot of threat.
Yes, they do, and I can tell you Dundee United are now 2-1 up on Celtic.
Are you actually being serious?
Yeah, Zachary Sapsford has got, they were 1-0 up. Wilfried Nancy's
Well,
Celtic, who are now on course for 4 defeats in a row.
I heard his press yesterday. He's under big pressure.
Big pressure.
Massive pressure.
Yeah. And the news about Peter Lawwell today, who's going to step down as chief executive at the end of the year. And there is a lot of pressure, and 2-1 down. So that is one of the stories of the night. We'll have more on that when we are eventually on 5 Live, as there is a foul in centre field on Jacob Ramsey, who's left flat on his back. And it'll be a free kick to Newcastle.
Yeah, Harrison Reed just got him late there, yeah.
Well,
he's lucky he didn't get a yellow card there, isn't he, John?
Yeah.
I wonder if he was subbed in if he did.
Come in at pace. And, he mistimed it. He's fouled Ramsey. Where's the referee? Yeah, the referee's going across to Harrison Reed, who's not the tallest. He's a compact little midfielder. And there is just a ticking off for him. And then he slaps hands with Jacob Ramsey, who's all right. And I think that's a little escape for Harrison Reed. Newcastle attacking with Barnes, but gets so far and no further. Still Newcastle in possession. Chow back onto Cher, who will pass it back towards Ramsdale. So Newcastle United, the holders of this trophy. First time they'd won it last season. Long pass from Ramsdale, headed away by Tete. Comes out to Jacob Ramsey. Ramsey just carrying it out towards the left-hand side, and then gives it to Guimaraes, who passes it now into the penalty area, dragged back by Livramento, but he dragged it straight back to Harrison Reed, and the Fulham man was able to pass it away, and then Chow fouls Jimenez halfway inside the Fulham half. Jimenez wanted to take that quickly, but he's actually going to leave it. So Newcastle can get themselves organised. 3 minutes played in the second half, and actually Anderson has then thumped it into the back of Wissa, who was not 10 yards away from the ball, so he blasted it into the back of him, and the referee has allowed it to go, because Fulham are still in possession. Smith Rowe, he has Anthony Robinson set up the equaliser for Lukic's header. Miley down in the Newcastle right back position, gets there ahead of Kevin, plays it away, but he's given it away. Robinson is there, so is Kevin as well. This is just down to our left. Fulham in the all green kit with a black trim. Then centrally Berger, back to Anderson. Anderson now out to the right-hand side. Tete couldn't get the ball under control, but still has it. And now Berger again, the Norwegian international, out to Wilson, then into the penalty area. Harrison Reed, back out to Wilson again on the right. That black hair of his swept back. Anderson gives it back to the Welsh international. Wilson, left-footed ball into the box, and that has curled all the way over the top of Chow and beyond the far post for a goal kick, and it's still 1-1.
Yeah, it was good play from Fulham, and the movement from Jimenez was really good. He just got the run on Chow, but the ball was just overhit from Wilson. But another good, it's like the first half where Fulham started ever so well. Just took Newcastle a bit of time to get going in the second half.
Not long to go in Manchester. 7:30 kick-off. Manchester City 2-0 up on Brentford. And that big news from Tannadice, Dundee United leading Celtic by 2-1. And also Women's Champions League matches tonight. Latest scores: Juventus 0, Manchester United 1, Leuven 0, Arsenal 2, and Wolfsburg 1, Chelsea 1. All latest scores. We'll keep across those as Newcastle bring the ball out from the back. If you weren't listening in the first half, there would be no extra time tonight. That's how it is in the Carabao Cup. So if it stays like this, it will go to penalties. Fulham, who've already come through with a penalty shootout in this competition this season, in the previous round when they needed penalties to get past League One Wickham. Fulham, who've played a team from League Two, League One, the Championship, and now the Premier League in this competition this season, having knocked out Bristol City and Cambridge United before they won that shootout against Wickham. Newcastle down the left-hand side, they've played all 3 of their matches at home this season in this competition. Back it goes to Livramento to take this throw, standing tall there. That mop of dark hair. Livramento takes the throw into the centre circle. Chow is running away with it from Jimenez and passing it, and it's taken a touch off Robinson and out of play for a throw-in to Newcastle. Willock is going to take this for Newcastle, and actually as Murphy ran downfield, he's ended up tumbling over. Cuenca was running with him. Referee has a look. Murphy doesn't make too much of it. Thumbs up from the referee. Willock will take the throw. 6 minutes into the second half. 1-1. Willock's throw bounces for Murphy, who's trying to twist Robinson. Robinson, though, gets the better of him, plays it back to Lecomte. Right-footed clearance, downfield, Livramento. It won't be long before 5 Live are joining us, Clinton, so gird your loins. Here's Bruno Guimaraes, and Newcastle in possession inside their own half, as we are joined by 5 Live on Sports Extra. So Manchester City are through, Clinton. Chelsea are through. Be either Arsenal or Crystal Palace. What do you think? Newcastle or Fulham? It's very tight, isn't it?
Oh, it's a hard one to call at the moment. Before the game, I was confident it'd be Newcastle, but yeah, I think Fulham have been really well so far this evening. But I'm still going to put my neck on the line and say maybe Newcastle are going to get through. And in the other tie, I'm praying it's Palace.
Well, listen, we don't need to worry about that.
Exactly.
We can leave that to next Tuesday. But I'm pleased to say that the rain has eased here on Tyneside as Cher sends a pass forward for Livramento. Might have used an arm there to keep it in. Referee England allows play to continue. Fulham, who are all in this green kit, their green change kit tonight with the black trim. Newcastle black and white stripes. Go back into the centre circle to Chow. If you weren't listening to us in the first half on Sports Extra, Wissa scored on his first start for Newcastle, his first goal for the club. But Lukic equalised. He went off at half-time. Newcastle on the attack with Livramento playing at left-back. His cross is blocked behind by Tete, and it's a corner to Newcastle. Here's the attendance figure.
Is 51,301.
There you are. So another big crowd, full of expectation, watching the winners of this competition last season. But the way that this match has panned out, this is going to be a tight one. Corner for Newcastle. Bruno Guimaraes to take this. And Newcastle have lined up 6-7 players in a line across the 6-yard box. Fulham have got their defenders in there with them. And it looks incredibly well choreographed as they stand now, all still, because the referee's blowing his whistle, giving some orders. Newcastle have got 3 players grouped beyond the far post. And so Chow and Cher are there with Wissa. So Bruno Guimaraes waiting to take this. Almost everyone in the 6-yard box inside the penalty area. Guimaraes' corner, he's driven it high to the back post. It's actually headed away by Jimenez for Fulham. Headed further away by Kevin on the edge of the box. The ball is thumped up in the air by Jacob Murphy, then headed forward by half-time substitute Harrison Reed. And then it is Livramento who gets there first for Newcastle. And then Newcastle with Guimaraes playing it out for Wissa to chase as he does out towards this side of the field, and then actually fouls Jimenez. It's well played by Jimenez to draw that foul, and a free kick to Fulham. So 1-1 the score. Wissa for Newcastle. Fulham scorer Lukic in the first half. The goals within 6 minutes of one another in the first 20 minutes of the match. But Newcastle, this is their team. For those joining us on 5 Live, Ramsdale in goal, Miley at right back, Cher, Chow and Livramento. Lewis Hall, we hear, has got a hamstring injury, latest Newcastle defender injured. Jimenez is still down on the pitch, but they haven't sent the physios on. The midfield, Guimaraes, Ramsey and Willock for Newcastle. So Tonali on the bench, Joe Linton on the bench, and then Murphy and Barnes, the wide players, either side of Wissa. His first start, as I say, the £50 million signing from Brentford. And the Fulham team now, Lecomte in goal. He was at fault for the goal that Newcastle scored. The Fulham goalkeeper. Tete, Anderson, Cuenca and Robinson the back four, Berger and Reed, and then Wilson, Smith Rowe, Kevin and Jimenez. Eventually Jimenez has got to his feet. Fulham have taken the free kick, and the referee is...
Nah, do you know why? Cuenca was going to take it and then went away and let the goalkeeper take it, and then obviously he thinks he's time wasting this early, but instead he should just let the game go, because if you're not going to give him a yellow card, why are you stopping it?
Well, so what is he going to do about it?
That's what he's just having a word with him.
He's having a long discussion with Cuenca, and that's actually the whole process there.
It makes no sense. If you're going to stop it, do you know what I mean, John? You might as well give him a yellow card.
Yeah, which he hasn't. So Fulham without their Nigerian Africa Cup of Nations players. So Bassi, Chukwueze and Iwobi. Quite a big loss that, to lose 3 players. Yeah. 3 first-choice players.
And they've been good for them this season as well, all 3 of them.
The only other change that Marco Silva made was the goalkeeper, who was at fault for the Wissa goal. Here's Kevin now, one of the players to come in, the Brazilian. Kevin carrying the ball forward, looking for Robinson on the left. Robinson's cross came off the head of Chow, and he actually was able to deflect it to Barnes, his teammate, on the edge of the area. Robinson again on the left-hand side. Here's the cross. Ramsdale goes for it and is able to catch that comfortably. Latest score in the Women's Champions League. Chelsea are now winning in Germany. Wolfsburg 1, Chelsea 2. Sam Kerr, the goal scorer, and that means that result would be enough for Chelsea to finish in the top 4 in the table and qualify directly for the quarter-finals of the Women's Champions League. Arsenal winning 2-0 against Leuven. Manchester United 1-0 up on Juventus. Newcastle attacking down the right-hand side. Ball headed away. Barnes has got it. Arsenal are now 3-0 up, actually. Sar Janssen own goal for the third. So Arsenal, it would seem, on the way to victory. Depending on the other results, they might be able to finish in the top 4. 1-1 here in the second of tonight's Carabao Cup quarter-finals. Barnes with a cross for Newcastle, all the way across the penalty area. Robinson headed it, didn't clear the box. Headed across by Murphy, comes out for Miley. Miley's volley across the area, headed away by Harrison Reed. Newcastle again. That's the sound of the Newcastle United supporters, who've been a little edgy tonight after the defeat in Sunderland on Sunday afternoon. When Newcastle have been up against it tonight, there has been a nervousness, you could feel it. Miley passing it forward, but he's passed it straight to Fulham's Robinson. Robinson up towards Jimenez. Chowdo puts the challenge in on him. Newcastle building a bit of momentum here. Jacob Murphy on the right, back to Bruno Guimaraes. Square from him to Livramento. Livramento to Barnes. Barnes carries it into the area. Left foot shot across goal. The Comp goes down, doesn't gather it, pushes it away. Could have gone anywhere. Deflected behind for a corner.
Yeah, the Comp, he makes everyone nervous. He makes me nervous, and I'm not even a Fulham player or a Fulham fan, John, but it's good play again from Newcastle and from Harvey Barnes down that left-hand side, and he can gather that in. His handling's not been good so far this evening.
Harvey Barnes coming in, Gordon's on the bench, so he's a possibility. Eddie Howe's yet to make a change. Voltemada on the bench, Elanga on the bench again, Tonali too, but it's a corner. Lewis Miley to take this, the tall teenager as he is now. Right-footed corner into the 6-yard box. Lecomte comes under pressure, got a punch to it, headed back across goal by Cher, then headed away by Fulham. Wissa was close to it, but Fulham were able to clear it. Kevin then passing it forward to Jimenez. They're off on the counter-attack, Fulham. Jimenez plays it through the middle. Wilson on the chase, gets to the ball first ahead of Chow. Wilson's pass right across the penalty area, but Smith Rowe just couldn't get there, allows it to run. Newcastle are getting black and white shirts back. Reed, then back to Berger, and the tall Norwegian international. Square to Robinson. Now the attention is at the other end of St James's Park, at the Leazes end, where the Fulham fans are up high. Their second visit of the season here. Newcastle won that Premier League match. It was tight as well by 2-1, and the referee has stopped play because Jacob Ramsey has taken a knock on the head, so it is a head injury. So we will have a stoppage here, so that means we can get back to Tannadice for the news on what could be the story of the night with you, Kenny Crawford.
Yeah, what an evening it's been up here in Dundee. It's Dundee United 2, Celtic 1, 76 minutes on the clock, John. And Shin Yamada, the Japanese player that's come on as a sub for Celtic, just did a shot wide, just as you were coming to me there. They've made a raft of substitutions, Celtic. James Forrest and Arne Engels on as well, as is Liam Scales. And just to put this into context, if Dundee United win this tonight, it'll be their first time in all competitions that they've beaten Celtic since 2014. 23 meetings have come and gone since United last beat Celtic, so a big achievement for them if they can hold out. It's Dundee United 2, Celtic 1.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be back with you shortly. I mentioned the latest scores in the Women's Champions League. Manchester City winning 2-0 against Brentford, and this is by no means an end to the live sport tonight, because in 2 hours time the second day of the third test will be getting underway in Adelaide. Test match special are there, of course, and you'll be able to hear the commentary on Sports Extra. And if you haven't clocked this, we've got a stoppage here because Ramsey's still receiving treatment, on Sports Extra the next day, so tomorrow, the whole day, the commentary of Test match special is being replayed on Sports Extra, so you can listen to that if you're working at home, if you're already off for Christmas, might be wrapping your present. You could listen to that during the course of the day tomorrow. Is Ramsey all right?
Yep, he's okay. It's fine.
He's just shaking his head as he comes off the field. Willock, I beg his pardon. It is Willock who's walking off the field, just shaking his head as he does so. And Eddie Howe just giving him a pat on the back, and he's going to be okay to come onto the field very shortly again. So, play will resume with a drop ball. Newcastle 1, Fulham 1. We're into the last half hour as Robinson plays it through into the box, but Smith won't reach that, and it's all the way through for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's poor from Robinson because he should try and keep it. He's forcing it, and they haven't had a lot of the ball in his second half. And you see Marco Silva puts his hands out because he's disappointed. He could have just given it to Kevin. He's causing a lot of problems.
Listen, anything could happen here in the next half hour, but it just has the air of going to penalties to me. But we will see. Ramsdale takes this goal kick. Wissa beaten in the air by Cuenca. Cher volleys it back over the top, and Lecomte is able to take that down. Lecomte did play in the previous round. Well, he's played in all of the matches in the League Cup. Saved 3 of the penalties in the shootout against Wickham. Gives it out to Cuenca.
Oh, so he'll be winning penalties, that's for sure.
Well, he won't want any more scary moments, and
for sure.
He's had a few, hasn't he? Guimarães through the middle, a flick from Barnes, that's cleared away, headed across, but Robinson got there. Jimenez just hikes it forward. Miley jumps with Kevin and actually is going to see it out of play for a throw-in to Newcastle. Just holds off Kevin. First time I've seen Kevin live, this exciting young Brazilian. What have you thought so far, Clinton?
Yeah, he's got some nice tricks and flicks. He's too inconsistent at the moment, but you can see he's got some natural ability, that's for sure, John.
Yeah, and as we say that, another Brazilian puts in a couple of tricks. Bruno Guimarães, the Newcastle captain, he gets it back now as Newcastle come forward towards the Gallagate end. Barnes is on the ball, infield towards Bruno Guimarães. Newcastle unbeaten in their last 8 matches here at St James's Park, the holders of this trophy. Murphy on the right. Murphy's crossed towards the back post. Wilson arrived, able to head it away. Livramento is behind him. Livramento is in possession of the ball now. Livramento looking for Ramsey. Ramsey, little dart near the left corner of the penalty area. Ball comes to a stop, and he's able to play it behind him as Newcastle then move it centrally to Miley, and then Chow. Still central, Guimarães does well, holds off the challenge from Robinson, plays it through to Murphy. Murphy's ball across, deflected in, but the offside flag is up, and the goal will not stand.
And the thing is, you can't even look because there's no VAR in it, but I saw the linesman put his flag up straight away, and it's Kevin, he switches off again, but if Murphy's looking across the line, he don't have to go. And he is offside. It's a good decision, but he don't have to go. He's looking across the line, John. It frustrates me when wingers are offside, and I did it many a times where my manager would go mad at me. You're looking across the line, Clinton. But you're so eager to get in there, John. That's the problem.
But that's served you well now, because that's why you're so good at spotting them.
Oh,
now,
yeah, for sure. Because I always knew when I was going.
Newcastle come again. Barnes turns well. Uses Livramento. Livramento shoots, deflected. No, it's in the arms of Lecomte, who went down and dropped on it. Whether it took a deflection into his arms or whether it was a clean stop, I'm not sure, but the goalkeeper was able to save it. What a chance for Livramento.
Yeah, in the end it's a poor finish, I think, from Livramento. Lecomte does well. It's a comfortable save, but he's either trying to bend it into that far corner, which I think he tried, or drill it back, because Wissa was there at the back post. But it's much better from Newcastle in the second half. That,
Clinton, is actually the best chance of the second half so far, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's the first note I've made in terms of a goal-scoring opportunity. And he's not the most natural goal scorer, Livramento.
You can see that by the way the finish, because if it's any other, they try and bend it in that far corner.
Yeah, he tried to shape his body. Oh, here's Smith Rowe at the other end, curls it, but straight at Ramsey. That was a good chance on the edge of the D, but he curled it straight into the arms of the Newcastle goalkeeper.
Yeah, he tries to bend it. He's picking up good little pockets, Smith Rowe, and he turns well. Tries to bend it. He should probably try and drill it then.
Yeah, former Arsenal, wasn't it?
Yes,
Smith Rowe to Ramsdale. But it remains Newcastle 1, Fulham 1. Livramento had the sort of body shape of Thierry Henry, but nothing like the finish.
Yeah.
And Thierry Henry, did you hear this today? He's going to receive the Lifetime Achievement Award at the BBC Sports Personality of the Year ceremony tomorrow night. That's on BBC One.
What is that
tomorrow
Lifetime
night.
Achievement Award? What is that for?
Achievement in his lifetime?
Oh, for the football.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally get that. I understand. I was waiting for you. I knew you would always help me out on that one, but yeah, he's fantastic.
Wilson across to Kevin.
What?
Kevin then turns it out towards the left-hand side to Robinson. Robinson's ball across into the penalty area. Ooh, Gimrange had to get there, and he did. I thought it might run away from him as well, but it sort of stuck to him as he ran onto it, and then he won the goal kick off Wilson.
And you can see what he means to the fans here. You can see what he means to the fans here. He's fantastic. He's tracking back. But you know I need help on them Lifetime Achievement Awards.
Gary, producer Gary, is being very unkind to you. He's taking the mick.
What did he say? I want it. I'm here for it. That's why everyone likes me, because you can all have a laugh at me. Tell me, John, what's he said? I wasn't voted for it.
He was just saying maybe they didn't have that in Ireland.
No, they didn't. We didn't have that in Ireland. We didn't know. We didn't have that in Ireland.
Anyway, it's on tomorrow night, and I know it gets a lot of stick, but I watched it last year.
I'll be watching it.
I really enjoyed it, and it's been a bumper year. And I would say that as a BBC man, but
no,
it's
I'll
the
be
truth.
watching it, and it is good, definitely.
Here's Willock on the right-hand side. Willock playing it back to the edge of the area to Miley, and leaves it to Willock. And now Bruno Gimrange. That pass again. Murphy cuts it back, but it's cleared away in the middle by Berger. Newcastle are threatening now. This is typical of them. It's been a bit of a stuttering performance from Newcastle, but they are attacking down the hill, as Alan Shearer will tell you, towards the Gallagate. And Barnes now on the left-hand side, penning Fulham back in there. Gimrange, who has really stepped up. He apologised to the fans in the programme tonight for the performance on Sunday, and he's been one of the better performers. Barnes now might open up for him. No, he plays it all the way across, but beyond Willock and through for a goal kick. And with that, I immediately look down at Eddie Howe to see what he's going to do, and yes, the changes are coming. I can see the unmistakable hair of Nick Voltemade down there.
I think it's getting ready as well, so it might be just them two at the minute that are coming up.
I think we are going to go back to Tannadice, see what the latest is with Kenny Crawford.
85 minutes gone, still Dundee United 2, Celtic 1. Tannadice is raucous. Celtic just hit the post there through Daisen Maeda. A diving header from James Forrest's cross, but an offside flag did go up after that had happened, so I don't think it would have counted. So still Celtic chase that equaliser, and then they will be chasing that winner if they can get the equaliser. It's not good at the moment for the visitors, but brilliant for the hosts. Dundee United 2, Celtic 1.
Yes, most certainly. And Willock here, 1-1 the score. Willock scoops it forward, looking for Wissa. That was half cleared away by Cuenca, who's in for Calvin Bassey. Ball headed forward again for Newcastle. Fulham just can't get out at the moment. And if the scoreline stays like that, you'll need the Football Daily in the morning from the BBC Sounds app. We'll have the reaction. Hear what Wilfried Nancy has got to say if we're not able to get that on air on 5 Live Sport tonight before 10:30, when Tony Livesey will be taking over. Fulham concede a throw-in. Newcastle optimism is rising here. You can probably hear it with the reaction of the Newcastle United fans. Change is coming for Newcastle, but Barnes on the left. Here's the cross, which is headed up and away by Cuenca for Fulham. Nodded back into the penalty area, but that will run harmlessly through to Lecomte. 20 minutes to play, and again, if you've just joined us, if you don't know, this match would go straight to penalties after the 90 minutes and added time. There will be no extra time. Lecomte, Voltemade and Tonali now stepping forward to the side of the pitch as Murphy plays it back to Chow. Bruno Gimrange again, who's been given a lot of space in that central area, still carrying the ball forward, running diagonally and passing the ball to Barnes. Barnes over there, up against Kenny Tete, the Fulham right back, looking for Livramento at left back. He slips actually, and that means that Tete is able to nip in. Wilson's there as well, but he's actually taken it back towards the dead ball line. He's been forced to concede a throw-in near the corner flag, so Newcastle continue to pen Fulham back in there. Right, here come the changes. I thought he might have made a change in the wide positions, but not yet.
I thought that as well, and maybe Joe Linton as well, who hasn't played a lot of football recently, has he? So
it's going to be, and he did have that bang on the head. Joe Willock's number 28 has come up, so Tonali coming on for him.
Substitution for Newcastle United coming off with 28, Joe Willock.
Nick Voltemada.
Replaced by number 8, Sandro Tonali. Also coming off for Newcastle, number 9, Johan Wissa.
So Wissa, his first start for Newcastle and his first goal, scored it in the 10th minute. And here's the reaction for Voltemada. That's a show of support after that awful moment for him.
Yeah, that's why I
headed goal against Sunderland on Sunday.
A striker should never go back and defend. You tried to help out, but yeah, they love him here. He's been outstanding since he's been here. Everyone can score an own goal. He doesn't do it deliberately, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It was an extraordinary moment. Barnes playing the ball into the area, headed away by Anderson for Fulham. I mean, the script is set, isn't it, for Voltemada coming on with the score at 1-1 to go from 0 to potentially hero, but it's Fulham coming forward with Robinson's cross, which lands on the roof of the net. Ramsdale just jumped rather awkwardly and frantically for that, but it landed on the roof of the net. We're going to see a double change for Fulham as well. Josh King coming on, who I've liked when I've seen him, and Adama Traore as well. Look at the muscles, Clinton.
Yeah.
On Adama Traore. Oh, well, not very far away. He's virtually bursting out of that shirt.
He is. He need a performance from him though. Like I always feel he's got so much not natural talent, but he's got pace that people shouldn't be able to deal with him. And his end product's not nowhere near good enough. He needs to perform this evening for his team.
Do you know what? Adama Traore has not scored in his last 32 Fulham appearances. So Josh King, the 18-year-old, is going to come on for Smith Rowe. Doesn't look best pleased, does he, to have been called off? Shakes his head just as he disappears from sight. And I think we would have expected this, wouldn't we, Kevin, coming off as well?
Yeah. And you say Adama against young Miley, it'll be a good test for him, even though he likes to play on that right-hand side. I think it's a good test. And Livramento looks like he may have a problem. Because it looks like it's that... Is it the knee again? It's something, but it's not worth taking a risk. Yeah, I feel like when you're doing them kind of stretches, it looks like it might be his knee again, his left knee.
Well, he was out from September to November. He missed the last 2 international windows as well as all of those Newcastle matches with a knee problem. And another defensive injury is the last thing that Newcastle and Eddie Howe needs.
Especially they've got no defenders on the bench either.
Well,
maybe a
youngster.
youngster. Yeah.
Leo Shaha.
And I think he might be getting ready to come on, John.
Well, what a moment. So we've got another stoppage here, and that looks as though that's it for Livramento. So let's go back to Tannadice. Can't be long left with you now, Kenny Crawford.
Yeah, not long left. Dundee United 2, Celtic 1. We've just entered the first minute of 4 added, John. Celtic trying to throw everything forward to try and get this equaliser. They had a couple of corners a minute ago, but none leading to anything, and there's the frustration growing from the away fans, as you would expect. An absolute jubilation from the Tangerine fans, who many in the stand across from me just now are on their feet clapping and cheering at the moment as they urge their side to last this 3 minutes longer and get that much needed win, and a first win against Celtic since 2014. Dundee United 2, Celtic 1.
Well, Newcastle United 1, Fulham 1 remains the score, and Tino Livramento is having to leave the pitch, and he looks utterly dejected. But Alex Murphy is coming on to replace him. So just his second appearance of the season came on in this competition against Bradford City. So the untried Leo Shaha, the 18-year-old, on the bench, but Alex Murphy, who is a central defender, can play at left back. It's Alex Murphy who has come on for Livramento, the number 37. So 15 minutes to go, Clinton. 15 minutes away from penalties with this scoreline, and Newcastle winning a throw-in over there on the left-hand side.
So they've only got really 2 more they can bring on, and that's probably out of Joe Linton, Gordon and Elanga. You are surprised about the wide players, aren't you, John? I'm surprised that he hasn't made a change in them wide areas.
Yeah, although Murphy and Barnes have done okay.
Yeah, they've done well, and the other 2 didn't do as well on the weekend.
No. 1-1. A hush at St James's Park as Newcastle play it forward for Miley. So Newcastle now with Miley at right back and the relatively untried Alex Murphy at left back. Here is Jacob Murphy, 2 Murphys on the field. Adama Traore wins this back, goes on a run, but that's won back by Tonali. And Tonali now over the halfway line. Bright yellow boots, looks up. He's got 2 Fulham players either side of him. He's trying to draw the foul, and he's been successful in that. Oh, sure. It's not been given. They seem to be hauled over by Berger. Referee England not interested.
Yeah, I don't understand how that wasn't given, because we all thought that was a foul.
Back to Tannadice, Kenny Crawford.
We're into the last minute of added time, and Celtic have just spurned another opportunity to equalise. Dundee United 2, Celtic 1. It was Benjamin Nygren, the Swede, who came on as a substitute, had a chance from a free kick about 20 yards out at the corner of the box, took it left-footed and comfortably over the bar, as John Beaton gives one of the Dundee United players a yellow card for arguing about something. So at the moment, Dave Richards, the Dundee United goalkeeper, is about to punt this up the pitch and see if Dundee United can hold on. I make it about 30 seconds of added time left, John, and just break in on me if you get anything significant at your end. Otherwise I'll just continue, because it's in the middle of the pitch. Ivan Dolcek, the Croatian for Dundee United, tries to win that one. It goes out for a Celtic throw. Luke McCowan throws it back to Austin Trusty, and he's trying to shepherd out of defence. Goes across to Anthony Ralston, who brings it into the Dundee United half. Long lofted ball down towards the box. Arnie Engels tries to get up in the air. Luke McCowan brings it down, cuts inside, lays it off for Liam Scales. It's an absolutely packed box. Now back to Arnie Engels. He drifts into the box, and it's headed out by defender by Dundee United. Back to Luke McCowan, back to Arnie Engels, corner of the box, flights it in. Dundee United defender clears it. Austin Trusty has it at the edge of the box, puts it over to James Forrest, who cuts inside on his right foot, and it's cleared again by the Dundee United defence. Lucas Stevenson, on loan from Liverpool, gets that one hoisted away. Casper Schmeichel sends it back. Again the Dundee United defence steals with it. Callum McGregor, the captain, heads it to Engels, who's on the left side of the pitch. He floats it into the box, penalty area. It's cleared again by the Dundee United resistance. Surely they've done enough now. John Beaton, the referee, looks at his watch, and we're well over the 4 added minutes now, and there's boos from the Celtic fans. Beaton's got the whistle in his mouth. The referee's looked at his watch once more, and Callum McGregor brings it into the half again. Are Celtic going to have one more chance to hoist it into the box? Austin Trusty, left hand side to Liam Scales. He floats into the box, again repelled by Tangerine, and there is a full-time whistle. Dundee United 2, Celtic 1. It's 4 defeats for Wilfred Nancy as Celtic head coach. What will this mean for him now? Will he be allowed a January transfer window when the form has been this bad? But let's give Dundee United credit as well. A first win over Celtic since December 2014. 2 absolutely fabulous goals by Christian Carestes and Zach Sapsford to turn it around after Daisen Maeda had put Celtic in front in the 13th minute. The visitors looked brilliant in the first half, but fell apart in the second, and now they are still 6 points behind Hearts with only 1 game in hand, and Hearts could make that 9 points on Sunday. Dundee United stay 8th, but this is a brilliant win for Jim Goodwin's side. Dundee United 2, Celtic 1.
Thank you, Kenny Crawford. What a remarkable turn of events for Celtic to lose Wilfried Nancy's first 4 matches, having been beaten by St Mirren in the League Cup final on Sunday. So obviously more reaction to that to come. We have 10 minutes left here at St James's Park, and still it is all square after 80 minutes of this match. Newcastle United 1, Fulham 1. Manchester City already through after their 2-0 win against Brentford. The draw is later tonight after this match concludes. Chelsea and Manchester City already through. Arsenal Crystal Palace next Tuesday. And suddenly it feels as though the tempo has been raised here, Clinton, in the recent minutes.
Yeah, it has, and it's all been by Newcastle, not by Fulham. King and Traore have to come on and make an impact. They keep giving the ball away, and you can see Silva's getting frustrated. This is where they need them substitutions to make an impact. But yeah, Newcastle look the more likely at the moment, John.
Fulham, though, in possession inside their own half. So we are approximately 10-15 minutes away from penalties to decide who goes through here, as there is a foul on King, who had actually taken the ball away, but the referee had already blown his whistle. Free kick. Robinson will take this towards the edge of the area. Miley heads it away. King back to Traore. Adama Traore turns, takes it down into the full-back position, goes for the byline, but then checks back. And then Miley's able to take his chance to jump in, win the ball. Traore chasing after him, he's forced the error. Miley's given it away. Robinson just outside the box, black and white stripes in front of him, goes squared. Kenny Tate actually under pressure has been fouled by Voltemada, and that's a free kick to Fulham, central area. Yellow card for Voltemada. Was a little late.
He was. Sometimes he looks like Adama Traore when he gets never played football. And then you look at him and sometimes he can be breathtaking. He must be so frustrating as a manager, when he gets the ball, because they just take on Miley and get a cross in. I know he's not on his favoured right-hand side, but you should be able to play both sides.
So it's a free kick to Fulham. This will be best part of 30 yards out. Newcastle are going to bring on Anthony Gordon next time they get a chance. Free kick though for Fulham. Harrison, Reed and Harry Wilson standing right and left of the ball. Newcastle holding their line on the edge of the area. Wilson standing with his hands on his hips. Another goal now, and whoever scores it might be through into the semi-finals. Wilson left-footed into the box, it's headed across, nodded down. Cuenca was in there, and Cuenca has headed it down onto a Newcastle player behind it. It's a corner to Fulham.
He's been good, you know, Cuenca. He's defended well, he looks a threat from set pieces. A good knockdown from Anderson, and in the end it's well defended before Cuenca can pull it into the net.
Corner then. The Fulham fans up in the top tier of the Leazes end are interested in this. Again, they send two players out there, Fulham. Wilson and Harrison Reed this time. The two were involved in the taking of the free kick, involved for the corner. And Fulham with, well, Tate's in the 6-yard box, everyone else grouped in a green Fulham shirt near the edge of the area, central defenders. So the delivery from Wilson towards the back post. Adama Traore heads it across. It's flicked on by Berger, but cleared away for Newcastle down into the centre circle. Newcastle had everyone back. Alanga's going to come on as well, so they are going to change the two wide players for the final minutes. Gordon and Alanga coming on. Newcastle winning a throw-in. Harvey Barnes halfway inside his own half. Ball's out of play. Are we going to see the changes now? You'd think so, wouldn't you? 6 minutes to go. While these changes are made, we're going to get an update from James Gregg at the World Darts.
And on his 24th straight World Championship appearance, James Wade has eased through tonight against Rusei Asamoto, the Japanese player, 3-0. He wasn't at his best by any means, just won 180 in the match, but he won't care too much. He's into round 2, where he'll play against Ricky Evans.
Thank you very much, James, at Alexandra Palace. And two of the performers at Sunderland on Sunday who didn't really cut it, coming on for the final minutes here, Clinton. Alanga and Gordon for Barnes and Murphy. Jacob Murphy.
Yeah, listen, they've got to come on and make an impact. I don't understand how Joe Linton's not got on the pitch though, John. Maybe because he had to make the change through Livramento and he might have brought on Joe Linton. Yeah,
Joe Linton unused. Newcastle picking up another defensive injury with Livramento. Newcastle breaking forward, and a foul on Jacob Ramsey, who was breaking away there and was tripped. It is a free kick, forward and left of the centre circle, and we've got 5 minutes to play. So it was played forward there. It was Harry Wilson who just clipped his heels, wasn't it, as he ran across the back of him, bringing him down. No action, no further action taken other than the free kick into the last 5 minutes. And Bruno Guimaraes is going to take this free kick. Raises his right arm. Here it comes, that yellow ball towards the back post. Cher tries to head it across the box. Fabian Cher. Cher received a yellow card in the first half, which means if Newcastle get through, he'll be suspended for the first leg of the semi-final. But there's work yet for Newcastle if they're going to get that far. Alex Murphy, the substitute left-back, passing it back to Ramsdale. Full-time whistles have gone in the Women's Champions League. Chelsea won at Wolfsburg, so they finish third and go straight into the quarter-finals. Leuven 0, Arsenal 3, which means Arsenal finish 5th, and Juventus 0, Manchester United 1, and they finish 6th. Ball bounces up, hits Robinson just outside the box, shouts for a handball, free kick. Referee England says no. Here's Voltemada for Newcastle. Voltemada, middle of the Fulham half, just forward of the centre circle, square to Miley. Now Alanga into the match for the first time. Back to Miley. In slides Traore, but Miley turns, keeps possession. The cross from Alanga, cleared away by Anderson for Fulham. Straight up in the air, the ball's still in the box. Headed away by Robinson. Comes out to Malik Chow, the central defender, up there near the edge of the box. It's deflected, and then Harry Wilson's going to take it away. Fulham on the counter-attack. He's got away from Alex Murphy, but he just has to check back there, Wilson, and cross it left-footed into the edge of the area. Cher was there to head it down away from Josh King. And now we've got 3 minutes to play. Penalties on the way. All square at 1-1, unless there can be what may well be a winning goal. Alanga back to Sandro Tonali now with the ball at his feet. The Italian gives it to the young man from County Durham, Lewis Miley, to his right. Miley drags it back, passes it to Alanga, who plays it behind Miley, so has to go all the way back towards the halfway line. Groans from the home supporters. A packed St James's Park. Over 51,000 people watching here. And Newcastle, the holders of this trophy, but Fulham could loosen that grip over the course of the next 10 minutes. Voltemada down into the full-back position. Just pulls it back, and then with Kenny Tete there with him, the tall German international keeps the ball, then turns, drags it back again, and behind him Anthony Gordon, and now Fabian Cher. Fulham drop everyone back into their own defensive third. Chow picks out the pass, it bounces across to Alanga, infield to Bruno Guimaraes, then back to Alanga again, still going Alanga, it's taken on by Ramsey, then the cross from Miley, Gordon on the stretch, heading it back infield, comes back to him, Gordon now, still going, carrying it outside the penalty area and then showing too much of it to King. Fulham could be away, but no, Anthony Gordon's able to get a touch. Newcastle back in possession. Just over a minute of the 90 to play. Cher now to the edge of the box. When they met here in the Premier League in October, Newcastle scored with a late goal from Guimaraes to win it. Fulham whack it away downfield, and it's out of play for a throw-in that Ramsdale was thinking of taking himself, but Fulham have got a couple of players down there, sharpish, so he'll have to leave it to an outfield player.
Yeah, there's only one team who look like they want to win it at the moment. It looks like Fulham are kind of playing for penalties. They can't get up the pitch at the moment.
Clinton Morrison there with us on 5 Live here at St James's Park. Test match resumes 11:30. Hear that on Sports Extra, live from Adelaide. Throw into Newcastle halfway inside their own half, which Alex Murphy takes. Gets back, Bruno Guimaraes passing it all the way across the penalty area. Newcastle United and their supporters have absolutely loved holding this trophy, and at 1-1, the possibility of penalties to come. This could be a fractious end to the evening or a jubilant end. Here's Bruno Guimaraes back to Tonali, then Chow, here's Alanga running at Robinson, ball across, deflected into the path of Harrison Reed for Fulham. Adama Traore passing it forward. Josh King has got away from Tonali, but he's the only Fulham player up there, and Tonali actually has been able to put the challenge in and win the ball back for Newcastle. 20 seconds of the 90 minutes to play. Then it'll be maybe 5-6 minutes of added time. We've had some lengthy stoppages actually, haven't we?
Yeah, you're right, John. It could be Willock, and then all the substitutions. So you're right. It might be
7 or 8.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Tony Lives, he can put his feet up. 6.
Yep.
I thought it'd be more than that. So 6 minutes of added time. This quarter-final level at 1-1. Penalties will be on the way with this scoreline. But Newcastle still thinking of perhaps winning it outright. Here is Alex Murphy over there in front of the East Stand. Floodlights shining down. Bruno Guimaraes. Then across to Ramsey, Tonali, now out to Alanga. And he's continued his run. Ramsey out to the right-hand side, back to Bruno Guimaraes, drives it in, blocked, back to Bruno Guimaraes, shoots again, that's blocked, Tonali, it rattles through, Miley, oh what a save, Lecomte, down to his right, that seemed goal-bound, and the Fulham keeper, who was at fault for the Newcastle goal, made a super save.
It's a brilliant save from Lecomte, because Miley looks like he's just passing it into an empty net. It's a fantastic save. For how bad he was for the first goal, he's made up for it with that save. It's a brilliant save.
Well, that's as good a save as you'll see. Well, he was probably maybe 11 yards out, Miley, and the reaction was superb.
Yep, you're right. Fantastic save.
Corner then for Newcastle. In it comes into the 6-yard box, glanced in! Miley! season, and now they might have beaten them late in the Carabao Cup as well.
It was coming. You can't defend like he's done the whole second half, Fulham. And your goalkeeper just made an outstanding save, but it's a great ball into the box. They got the height advantage, and Miley, he's done well at right back. It's a brilliant header into that far corner. But I don't know if they've got someone on the back post. You should always have someone on the back post that would just be clearing that away. But brilliant header from Miley, and Newcastle thoroughly deserve it. You can't sit back like Fulham's done in the whole second half.
Well, we've seen Lewis Miley. We've quite literally seen him grow up in over the course of the last couple of seasons. He is a tall young man now, and he used all of his height at the near post. A little glance, and it flew over Lecomte into the net. His third goal of the season, scored in the Champions League last week. This midweek, scores in the Carabao Cup quarter-final, and it looks as though the holders are going to win again here at St James's Park. Knocked out Bradford City, knocked out Tottenham. That's a real sickener for Fulham, but Newcastle were probably the team that was doing the most in the latter stages of the match.
Definitely, but I did fancy a bit of penalties, John, I'm not going to lie. I was excited for it, but they thoroughly deserve it, Newcastle.
It's not over yet, though. Back to Lecomte on the edge of the area. Miley, who was denied by Lecomte, but there was nothing the Fulham League Cup goalkeeper could do about the header from the corner. Tyra played for a throw to Fulham. So we've had... we're in the 4th minute of the 6 of added time. Tonali comes across. He lifts the ball high. It's heading now away. Clinton, I thought you were going to bring that down on the top of your thigh.
I would have, but this guy behind me's put his hand out. He was like he wanted it to hit me, John, so I just put my hand up.
Bizarrely, that's the second time that's happened to me here this season.
I can see it coming. I was thinking, it's coming.
Yeah, last time it's happened, it was caught by our engineer. Tete plays the ball into the area, headed away by Miley, comes back to Harrison Reed. Fulham still hoping here that they might be able to force penalties, but Newcastle 2-1 up, joining Chelsea and Manchester City in the last 4. The draw's on its way as well. Traore with a cross. Ramsdale comes, makes a good catch for Newcastle above the head of Anderson, who was up there, and the Newcastle goalkeeper has got it. We are now in the 5th minute of added time. Fulham made a change there, Clinton, and Jonah Kusu Asari has come on, the young man, the teenager who's on loan from Bayern Munich for Sander Berger. So the number 18, Kusu Asari, is on. Here he is now, centre field, jumping for the ball. He is a big guy.
He is a big guy.
Yeah. Yes, I've got him down as 6'5". He's all of that. He is a presence. Tonali taking the ball for Newcastle down into the full-back area. We are now in the 5th minute of added time. Just 1 minute of added time to go. Tonali tried to win a throw-in. He failed. Fulham hit it long downfield. They've probably got to do that. Cher heads it forward. Oh, and then there's a clash between Tonali and Harrison Reed, who, I thought he took a bang on the head there, but now he's saying it's his shoulder. Went down holding his head, but he's got up feeling his shoulder, knowing that time is of the essence probably. Lecomte now long and forward, but that's over. Everyone in a green shirt bounces down. Newcastle are nearly there. I make it 30 seconds to play. Ramsdale has the ball in his arms, sends his teammates downfield. He's going to kick this as far as he can, down towards the Gallagher end. There it goes, in the backdrop of the floodlights. Voltemada chasing, headed back by Robinson to Lecomte. 15 seconds to go. Lecomte now.
He kicks it well, by the way.
Yeah, he does, and Cher is able to head that out towards the far side. It's going to be a Fulham throw. This will be the last action of the match. Fulham, in the cup competitions in recent seasons, have gone out in quarter-final, semi-final, quarter-final. It looks as though it's going to be the end of the road again. Agonising for Marco Silva and Fulham supporters. That late goal from Lewis Miley in the 2nd minute of added time, I made it. However, they've still got this one last chance. Long throw. Here it goes. Into the Newcastle box. Headed away by Alex Murphy. Comes out to Harrison Reed. He's going to play it square to Josh King. King works it back across towards the right-hand side to Tete, who will shoot, but high over the top of the crossbar and across the face of goal. I think it was both high and wide. Ramsdale dived, but it was wide. And that should be it. That should be Fulham out and Newcastle through.
Yeah, it's poor from Tete. You're never going to score from there and beat Ramsdale. You've got all your big men up, got to put the ball into the box. They've lacked something in the second half, Fulham. Newcastle thoroughly deserve to go through to the semi-final.
Yeah, Newcastle, their home form again proving quite dramatically different to their away form. But this is the bounce back that everyone in black and white wanted. After the events at the Stadium of Light on Wearside on Sunday afternoon, we're in the 8th minute of added time. Referee Darren England surely will blow the whistle now. The goal kick goes way downfield from Ramsdale, but still we play on. We will have more as well on Celtic's defeat. If you haven't heard, Celtic losing at Dundee United, 4 defeats in a row. But here at St James's Park, the Carabao Cup holders Newcastle United are back in this season's semi-final after a dramatic win by 2 goals to 1 against Fulham. Marco Silva, a dejected Marco Silva with his hands in his pockets, walks out onto the field. Fulham go out in the quarter-finals, but Newcastle, this is exactly what was wanted. After their defeat at Sunderland on Sunday, just the tonic. Another semi-final for Eddie Howe and his team.
Yeah, you're right, John. You always need to bounce back, and you want that game to come around quick after the disappointing result against Sunderland. I thought in the first half it was an even game. Fulham started off the better team and went a goal down. Newcastle got back into it, and from when Newcastle scored, they were the better team and kept pushing and pushing. And they had the attacking power on the bench that they could bring on and maybe change the game. So they thoroughly deserved it.
So Newcastle 2, Fulham 1. Newcastle were in front early on through Wissa's goal on his first start for the club. Sasa Lukic equalised only 6 minutes later. Quite tight in the second half, but Newcastle finished the stronger. And Lewis Miley, the Newcastle United fan as he was growing up, who played at right back tonight, was able to deliver the crucial winning headed goal in added time. That means it has ended Newcastle United 2, Fulham 1.